Good morning to everyone. I, Veda, from the Department of English and Media Studies, welcome you all to the 7th International Conference on the Relevance of Vedic Sciences in the Modern World, organized by National Institute of Vedic Science Society Trust in collaboration with Vijaya College, Vijnana. It's my privilege to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Sanskrit Professor, Principal of Government College, Parkoda, Sonipan. A warm welcome, sir. It's a great pleasure to welcome our chairperson, Dr. Y.S. Gayatri, served as a Sanskrit lecturer in Sri Balaji PU College for 31 years and served as a professor in Sanskrit in Ramaya Degree College for 4 years. And a warm welcome, madam. I welcome our guest, Vijnana, currently serving as the principal of the Oxford PU College, Bangalore. A warm welcome, madam. I also welcome Dr. Hemalata, Associate Professor, Vijaya College, RB Road, Bangalore, and a member of NIVS. Welcome, madam. I welcome all the participants, the family of NIVS and Vijaya College, Jayanagar, to this session. I now introduce our keynote speaker. It's my immense pleasure to introduce a distinguished professor, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya, who has served under various capacities as follows. He has served as a Sanskrit faculty in government colleges in Haryana for 22 years. He has rendered service as the principal for the last 7 years in government colleges, Haryana. He was appointed as Centenary Chair Professor in Bharat Adhyayan Kendra at conclusion of 100 years of establishment of Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi in 2016. Sir has served as Chief Editor of Vedic Science from 1999 to 2011. He is presently serving as a member of Adult Board of Studies and Foundation Course, Bharat Adhyayan Kendra, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. He was a member of Academic Council, MD University, Rohtak. He served as guest editor, Itihas Darpan, published by Akhil Bharatiya Itihas Sankalan Yojana, New Delhi. He served as Lekhak Pramukh, Akhil Bharatiya Itihas Sankalan Yojana, Northwest Province from 1998 to 2008. He has served as an editor of World Vedic Calendar, published by International Foundation for Vedic Science, Canada, since 2005. The list is exhaustive, but due to time constraints, it's made as brief as possible. Sir is presently working as the principal in Government College, Parkoda. We are blessed to have such an eminent personality, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya. It's a privilege to listen to such a celebrated person. Over to you, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya.
So I'm sharing my presentation. It's visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, it's partial.
Okay, just a minute. Entire screen. Screen. Share entire screen. No, entire screen I am not able to share. Only video. Now it's visible. Okay. Oh, I'm going to share and select it, but now it's not visible. I don't know what happened. Screen, video share. Yes, now So now it is evolving. It's okay now. So I can start. Yeah, the old slides are ready. You just, I'm changing the slides. Oh, thank you. So, I'm grateful to the organizers of this 7th conference on relevance of Vedic science in modern days. As I have been assigned the topic Vedic foundation of modern mathematics, today we will talk about the mathematics originated in India and its different aspects. Before I start my lecture, I would like to inform that mathematics in India is profoundly influenced by philosophical assumptions, metaphysical commitments, and the practical requirements of the civilizations. Indian mathematics primarily developed as practical, algorithmic, and application-oriented knowledge rather than an abstract axiomatic system. This orientation is evident in various fields, including astronomy, geology, calendar computation, and time-directed system, architecture, and masonry, that is available in Shruta Sutras, commerce, land measurement, and taxation. Indian mathematicians prioritize obtaining accurate results efficiently and over proving theorems in Greek axiomatic manner. Procedures, rules, and computational techniques were esteemed over metaphysical speculation. This pragmatic approach resulted in remarkable advancements in arithmetic, algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and infinite series. One of Indian intellectual, Harvila Sharda, he was a judge and later parliamentarian of India. He wrote Hindu Marriage Act in Parliament called Sharda Act. He says, I quote, in mental abstraction and concentration of thought, Indians are proverbially happy. Apart from direct testimony on the point, the literature of Hindus furnishes unmistakable evidence to prove that ancient astonishing powers of memory and concentration of thought, hence all such sciences and branches of study as demand concentration of thought and highly developed power of abstraction of mind were highly cultivated by Indians. The science of mathematics, the most abstract of all the sciences, must have had an irresistible fascination for minds of Indians. Nor are there proofs wanting to support this statement. The most extensive cultivation and astronomy received at the hands of Indians is in itself proof of their high proficiency in mathematics. The high antiquity of Hindu astronomy is an argument in support of the still greater antiquity of their mathematics. That the Indians were selected by nature to excel all other nations in mathematics is proved by her revealing to them the and regarding India's contribution to the world of mathematics. Professor Macron, a famous Sanskrit scholar, he says, in science too, the debt of Europe to India has been considerable. There is in the first place the great fact that Indians invented the numerical figures used all over the world. The influence that the decimal system of reckoning dependent on these figures has had not only on mathematics but on the progress of civilization in general can hardly be overestimated. During the 8th and 19th century, science by an Arabic name, it is a gift we owe to India. Similarly, Monia William, another Sanskrit scholar, Gordon chair professor in Oxford, he says from them, Indians, the Arabs, received not only their first conceptions of algebraic analysis, but also those numerical symbols and decimal notations now current everywhere in Europe, and which have in 1869, these scholars, she was a scholar in the 19th century, she says, to whatever cyclopedia, journal or essay we refer, we uniformly find our numerals traced to India. A note to Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. And this code proves that without mathematics, no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. It means we discovered the event. He writes, the decimal ciphers, the honor of which, next to letters, the most important of human discoveries, has, with the common consent of historical authorities, been ascribed to Hindus. Similarly, one more scholar, Stanley Walpole, says, mathematics is the science to which Indians have contributed the most. Our decimal system, place notation, numbers 1 through 9 and ubiquitous 0 are all major Indian contributions to the world science. Without them, our modern world of computer sciences, Earth-launched satellites, microchips, and artificial intelligence would all have been impossible. One more scholar, Hermann Henkel, he was born in Halle, Germany, and he wrote a book, History of Mathematics. He says it is remarkable to what extent Indian mathematics enters into the science of our time. One more scholar, Dick Teresi, he observes, his famous book is Most Discoveries. He observes in his famous book, the earliest recorded Indian mathematics was found along that reveal a system of weights 27.584 grams. If we assign that a value of 1 over the weight scales in at 0.05, 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 and 500. These weights have been found in sites that span a 5,000-year period with little change in size. Archaeologists also found a ruler made of shell lines from 6.7 millimeters apart with a high degree of accuracy. Two of the lines are distinguished by circles and are separated by 33.5 millimeters or 1.32 inches. This distance is the so-called Indus Inch. So thus we have seen here and we have observed that so many even European scholars in 19th century, they have preached about India's contribution to the world of mathematics, but when Britishers came and in the colonial period, they tried that all this contribution, Indian contribution to the world of mathematics and science be de-recognized. When we talk of mathematics, we find the nomenclature of mathematics about mathematics in Sanskrit text. That is known as mathematics was known as Anka Ganita or called as Vyakta Ganita, Party Ganita, Dhuli Varna. Even algebra, it was known as Bij Ganita or Avyakta Ganita. Geometry was known as Jaya. Vidi means measurement of Jaya. So similarly, mention of mathematics as a subject. In Vedas, we find words indicating mathematical calculations, just like Ganata, Gana, Ganapati, Ganashri, Ganin, Ganya. But we find the mention of mathematics as a subject in Chandogya Upanishad, as Rashi Vidya. In Chandogya Upanishad, mathematics is called Rashi Vidya. On the question of Sanat Kumar, Narada tells that he has studied Rashi Vidya in addition to Itihasa, Purana and Veda, Nakshatra Vidya. By Nakshatra Vidya, he is pointing to the astronomy. He says, Sahovacha Rigvedam Thago Abhyemi Rashim Dayam Niti. So this is how we find the mention of mathematics. And the praise of mathematics has been done in Vedanta Jyotish by Lagana. He says, Yatha Shikha Vyuranam Naganam Anayu Yatha Advada Vedanta Shastranam Ganitam Buddhani Sthikam. As are the crest on the heads of peacocks, as are the gems on the hoods of the snakes, so is the Ganita Jyotish at the top of sciences. In fact, in Sanskrit, the word Ganita, it was associated with the astronomy itself, Jyotish itself. So in Vedanta Jyotish, here Ganita means Jyotish. Ganita had two compartments. Jyotish had two classifications or categories. One is pure Jyotish, which is called as astronomy, that is based upon Ganita. Another is Pavitra Jyotish, that is predictive astronomy, or we call that astrology. Similarly, one of the famous mathematicians, Mahaviracharya, he says, Bahubhi Vipralapahi Intrailokya Sarahasya Jab Inchir Vastu Tata Sarvam Ganitena Vina Nahi. He says, why indulge in excessive disputation throughout the three worlds, whether animate or inanimate, whatever object exists, nothing at all can be without mathematics. In Sanskrit text or mathematical text, we find following types of fundamental operations of mathematics called as parikrama. Sankalana, known as addition; Vyavakalana, known as subtraction; Gunana, multiplication; Bhagahara, division; Varga, square; Vargamul, square root; Dhana, cube; Dhanamul, cube root; and Panchakali, 5 types of fractions or Vijnana, we call them. In Sanskrit, we find 4 types of numerals. One is uncompounded numerals, or known as Samasta Sankhya's numerals. In the Vedic corpus, numerals are broadly classified into 2 principal categories: simple uncompounded numerals and compounded numerals, reflecting both their linguistic structure and their functional use in hymns, rituals, and philosophical expressions. Uncompounded numerals or simple numerals are basic, independent number words that are not formed by combining 2 or more numerical elements. They represent primarily numerical concepts and often appear in their stand-alone lexical forms. Examples are Eka, Tri, Tri, Chatur, Pancha, Shata, Sapta, Ashta, Nava, Dasha. Then this Shata, Sahasra, Ayuta, Niyuta. All these are uncompounded or simple numerals. These numerals are frequently used to enumerate cosmic principles: 3 worlds, 7 rivers, 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, like that. Structural ritual formulas, number of ovulations, meters and fires. They express symbolic or philosophical meanings for and another numerals are compounded numerals. They are formed by combining 2 or more numerical elements to express higher or more complex numbers. Their formation Sanskrit compounded rules, numerals from 11 to 99 are compounded numerals. Examples: Ekadash, instant, 11, 1 plus 10, Dwash, 2 plus 10, 12, Trayodhas, 3 plus 10, 13, Eka Vishaki, 1 plus 20, 21, Panchadas, 5 plus 10, 15, like this. These numbers, they are also classified as odd numbers and even numbers, Visham Sankhya and Sama Sankhya. In Yajurveda, we find the mention of odd numbers from 1 to 33, odd numbers, Eka, Tisra, Pancha, Sapta, and so on up to Eka Vishaki, Trayo Vishaki, Eka. The mention of these odd numbers from 1 to 33. In Sanskrit, numbers ending with 9 are found both by addition and subtraction methods in ascending and descending orders respectively. Some examples are Navadas, 490, 9 plus 10, and A Odavation, 20 minus 9. Similarly, Navadation, 9 plus 20, A Odavation, 30 minus 1. Navasaptati plus 70, Ekadashiti, 18 minus 1. So, Hindi also borrowed this tendency from Sanskrit, but English language formed these numbers ending with 9 through addition method like 19, 29, 99, but not through addition, the subtraction method. We also find the multiplication method used for forming numbers in Vedas. In Vedas, we come across scores of examples where numbers are formed with the help of multiplication method, like RELEVANCE or Veda, 2 into 5, 2 into 10, 3 Saptaha, 3 into 7, 3 into 3 into 9, Sharashti, 6 into 18. But we do not find this tendency in other languages. Now we are coming to the powers of 10. The concept of powers of 10 cannot be invented without the knowledge of zero. The contents of the power of 10 when zero is suffixed to them. And the mantra is like that. Imami agna ishtaka dhinavah santavika cha dascha dascha shatam cha sahasra cha yutam cha niyutam. This mantra is there and it says, Uvami me ishtaka, the bricks of gadget, altar provide by desirous fruits. Like a milk time, they increase by 10 times, like numerals were suffixed with zero. Just like 0 raised to the power 10 raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. When added with 0, it becomes 10. Similarly, 10 when added with 0 becomes 100. 10 raised to the power 2. Similarly, 100 when added with 0 becomes 1000. This whole description has been given by Yajurveda itself. Now, we all know that the current place value notation, position value system as we call that is base 10 is purely Indian in origin, as it was not possible without the knowledge of zero. This current or prevalent place value system is Indian origin and Indian origin because it was not possible without zero, and India is the inventor of zero. I give this proof further down. So in the present includes names of various locational places like Veda, Darshan, Sastra, Adita, Apu, Grama. Darsha, Shaka, Sastra, Adita, Nilda, and in the uniqueness of the system lies in the fact that the position qualifies its magnitude. Tens, hundreds, or thousands were not represented by different like Egyptians, Chinese, Romans, or other civilizations. Again, I'll come to the symbols in the next slides. They are represented by using digits in different places. Notice that the one in the second place, in the third place becomes 100, and in the fourth place it becomes 1000. For example, the following the place value notation mentions 3,339 as the count of the people in the legend. Trini Shatati Sahasranyavan Trishat Deva Navtas Tas Taskarya Aukshat Hridayastra Vardirasma Adi Bhutala Nashadayanta 3,309 stars per only they give only 6. So he listed on the sacred grass tree around the altars. Aryabhatta, he also talks about this place value notation. He restates the same fact when he claims it to be ancient knowledge. Aryabhatta himself says that this knowledge came to him from the ancient text, Brahma Siddhanta. According to him, if the position of a number increases from right to left, its magnitude increases by 10 times. He says, Ekamcha, Dashamcha, Shatamcha, Sahasram, Tva, Yuddha, Divide, Katha, Pranditam, Uttyarudam, Sadrundam, Sthanam, Sthanam, Dashpurnam, Shakro. Meaning, this whole I have highlighted here, 10, 100,000, 10,000, and this is up to great God. These four numbers are respectively each 10 times the preceding because of their positional place value or notational places. With the increase in the position of number 1 from right to left, its magnitude is also increased by 10 times. Inversely, 0 increases the magnitude of number by 10 times when substituted to them. So it's the same tradition that started from Veda is also described by Vivara Mihila. Earlier Arya does not tell this his invention. He doesn't say that this is his invention, but he says that he owes this whole knowledge to the Brahma Siddhanta, which was improved in the holy past well before his period. So this was the period. This was a tradition of Veda, tradition of Jyotish, Sangha, Jnana. It started from the Vedic period itself. Similarly, the tradition of Darshana's philosophy also started from the Vedic period itself. And whatever now we mention Aryabhatta, Kanada, Patanjali, they are the last person. Just like Panini is the last person in the tradition of ancient Greeks. So we cannot say that all these things started from Aryabhatta, from Kanada, or from Patanjali. They are all the last persons known as in the tradition. So Aryabhatta says Aryabhattiyam namnaha purvam swayam bhut sada nityam sukritayi pranasham kurve pratikam sukam yuvasya. This Aryabhatta is the same word as the ancient Brahma which was revealed by Swayambhu. And as such, it is true for all times. One who studies it destroys obstacles coming onto one's way, fame, and longevity. Now we find the left to right notation in writing. Sanskrit writings, we find left to right notations. Left to right notation was strictly followed for writing purpose both in Vedas and later Sanskrit. But numerically, they were placed from right to left. As per Vedic rule, described in Sanyoja Padmaratna Malika. Shloka 48, which says Ankarana Vāgho Gati. Though in word form they are written from left to right, but in numerical form they are right in a reverse form. Vāgho Gati. Numerically the numbers are placed from left to right. For example, the following sequence of Agni Purana. In Agni Purana, this sequence Ashta Muni Rama Ashvina Netra Ashta Shar Ratri Chandrama. It will be represented numerically as 1, 58, 22, 37, 800 like that. Although it has been mentioned as 0, from left to right, but in numerical system, reverse way. This is not only in Sanskrit literature, in Atharva Veda also, we find a mantra that follows left to right, the number of years in a Kala period. And the mantra is Shatante years, or 4.32 billion years to complete one revolution. Here the Vishnudeva is representative of galaxy. Now all other states to write 2, 3 and 4. Dve, Shuge, Tri, Satvari. 2, 3 and 4 are 100 ayudas. One ayut is equal to 1 10. As such, 100 ayudas will be equal to 1 million. 7 zeros. When 2, 3 and 4 are placed from left to right before a million, or 10 million, we get the numbers 4, 3, 2. And this becomes 432 crore years, which is a periodical in Indian time calculation system, or we can say our galaxy's revolution period around supergalactic center. So this system is already prevalent over there. Now we are coming to the decimal system. Here also we must know that it is India and only India that gave us indigenous method of expressing all numbers by means of 10 symbols. Each symbol receiving a value of position as well as value. Due to the invention of zero. If India had not invented zero, this would also not have happened. Writing of numerals based on decimal system is also invention of India. Decimal system represents numbers as linear combinations of the powers of 10 as shown above. This 10 3 into 10, 16, 1 plus 10 raised to the power 1, like that. Several others, civilizations, such as Egyptians, Chinese and Romans, did not invent zero. So they used additive decimal system. In their system, multiple repetition of the symbols were used and added to increase the magnitude. For example, in Roman system we find x means 10. And if we will say 20, we are writing x means 10 plus 10. If we will say 30, we will write x plus x 10 plus 10 plus 10. where decimal system was invented. So, for one of invention of zero, they have to repeat the symbols again and again. Now we will discuss some limitations of non-positional systems, which is, I have told, this is Roman, Egyptian, Chinese, these are non-positional system. Placement value of the numerals was not discovered over there. Romans, Greeks, Egyptians and Greeks and ancient Chinese dwelt for want of invention of zero and only non-positional numeral system. They could dwell on the non-positional numeral system, which made complex arithmetic operations, especially multiplication and division, very cumbersome. With this system of Roman numerals, you cannot multiply or divide just like we do with our Indian number systems. In addition, it makes the step multiplication or division very cumbersome or inefficient and or almost impossible. What to say of squares, square roots, cubes, you forget about. In these ancient systems, numerals were typically represented by symbols or letters that had fixed values rather than by digits whose value depended on their position. In Roman numerals, we have this I for 1, V for 5, X for 10, L for 50, C for 100, D for 1000, and M for 10,000, like that. Roman numerals rely on addition and subtraction, not place value system. For example, if you write 27, it will be written as X, V, I. If we write 9, it will be written as I, 10. To perform multiplication, such as 27 into 8, Romans did not use a written algorithm as we do. Instead, they relied on repeated addition, counting methods, or tools like the abacus. If they will multiply 27 by 8, they will have to write 27 by 8 times. So division was even more laborious and often required trial and error subtraction. What to say of squares, square roots and others. Now we come to Egyptians. The Egyptian system used hieroglyphic symbols for powers of 10, just like 1, 10, 100, 1000, etc. But it lacked a positional structure again. The number 3462 could be written as a repetition of symbols for 1000, 100, 10 and 1. Multiplication was carried out using a method of doubling and addition rather than a standard algorithm. And similarly, these Greeks used alphabetic symbols, alpha, beta, gamma, etc. to represent numbers. While useful for notation, this system also lacked zero and placed value, making calculations complex and largely dependent on geometry, reasoning or counting devices. Ancient Chinese numerals, early Chinese system used counting rods and characters. They borrowed the zero symbol and positional idea from India but could not develop initially decimal notation in the 6 by 32. One would resort to repeated addition or external rules, making the process slow and prone to error. So, to conclude, we can say contribution to the mathematics and universal positional notation. This limitation constrained their ability to perform efficient written multiplication and division. The introduction of zero and the decimal place value system in India marked a mathematical revolution, laying the foundation for modern arithmetic, algebra, and global scientific computation. Similarly, this Indian system, this decimal system, place value system gives us a ease of calculation. This is uh, its benefit. In Indian system, at first glance, you may recognize greater and smaller numbers according to their digits. For example, 1892 is greater than 993 because 1892 has 4 digits and 993 has 3 digits. In Roman, so far as the Roman non-positional system is concerned, 100 will be written as and 99 will be written as IC. Smaller number has greater digits. Similarly, 18 will be written as XVIII and 90 will be written as XC. So if you look at the Indian numeral system or dwelt in India, even a primary school child, he will be that 100 is bigger than 99. But in Roman system, 100 is smaller and 99 is bigger. So this placement notation system invented in India, it follows the natural law. Bigger number, bigger digits, smaller number, smaller digits. Due to lack of knowledge of zero, decimal system and place value notations, Arabs, Greeks and Romans could not use big numbers. It was a problem with them. The Greeks used myriad, 10 raised to the power 4 as the limit of counting. They could not go beyond it, while Romans defined milli, 10 raised to the power 3 as the largest number. Indians who invented the used the numbers up to endless limit. Even Yajurveda, we find the use of numbers up to Prardha, 10 raised to the power of 12. Seen this, Al-Biruni, one of the Arabian traveler who visited India between 1030, around 1030 AD, he writes, or he just criticized Hindus for their passions for large numbers. What he observes, I quote here, he says, I have studied the names of the orders of numbers in various languages with all kind of people with them. I have been in contact and have found that no nation goes beyond 1,000. The Arabs too stop with 1,000, which is certainly the most correct and the most natural thing to do. Means there was no need, according to him, go beyond 1,000. Those, however, who go beyond 1,000 in their numeral systems are the Hindus, at least in their arithmetical technical terms. So he was surprised to know that the whole world is using 4 digits up to 1,000 and Indians are going beyond 1,000. So we can visualize if we have mathematicals up to 10 raised to the power of 12 or more than that, so how advanced our mathematical system was there and how advanced the science was there, because the scientific things, they are not going to stop at 4 digits. They need the greater numbers. Now we'll talk about some decimal system.
we receive the first indication of decimal system from the Yajurveda itself. In Yajurveda it says Ekaya Dashbhi, 1 into 10, Dvabhyam Vinshati, 2 into 10, Tisribhi Trinshata, 3 into 10. Atharva Veda also forms numbers from 1 to 1000 on the basis of decimal system. Eka cha, me dash cha, me dvivinshati, tisra trinshata, dashatam, shatashasram, like that it goes up to 1000. So now the question of invention of zero, how we invented zero. I'm quoting here some proofs. Invention of zero is a singular contribution of India to the modern world of science and technology. Invention of zero has revolutionized everything in science and technology. The famous mathematician G.B. Halstead described the importance of zero as under. He says, the importance of creation of zero mark can never be exaggerated. This giving to the airy nothing, not merely a local habitation and a name, a picture, a symbol, but helpful power, is the characteristic of Hindu race whence it sprang. It is like coining the nirvana into dynamos. No single mathematical creation has been more potent for the general on-go of the intelligence and power. Similarly, Laplace, another scholar, he observes the ingenious method of expressing all numbers by means of 10 symbols, each symbol having a value of position as well as an absolute value, emerged in India. The idea seems so simple nowadays that its significance and profound importance is no longer appreciated. Its simplicity lies in the way it facilitated calculations and placed arithmetic foremost among useful inventions. The importance of this invention is more readily appreciated when one considers that it was beyond the two greatest men of antiquity, Archimedes and Apollonius. Now, zero as a tool to increase value or magnitude. In the Vedas, the terms like Ananta, Aparimita, Kha, Asankhyata, Asankhya indicate the significance of zero. In the Rig Veda, we come across a mantra, Dashanta Rushad Atiruchamanam, where in this mantra, the significance of zero is described. Accordingly, due to zero, the power of numbers is increased by tens in a concealed way. Sayan, in his commentary on this mantra, points out this fact that zero remains concealed and forms the decimal numbers. He says, Antarusham Gudham Avasasthanam Tatchasthanam Dasa Sanchopetam. We come across a very interesting shloka in Sanyochit Padma Ratna Malika, where it states that when zero is placed to the right of numbers, their power is increased by 10 times. The verse goes like this, Ankeshu Shunya Vinyasad Vriddhi Shat Tu Dashadika Tasmat Jaya Visheshena Ankanam Vamato Gati. Zero is so powerful that it increases the power of number by 10 times, with which it is suffixed. You keep on suffixing zero to a number to increase its power to infinity. In fact, the development of the concept of zero has a philosophical base. Zero in Vedas was called Kha, a name synonymous to Brahman and synonymous to space. Om Kham Brahma, like that the Yajurveda mantra is there. So zero's power are synonymous with the power of Brahman. Below we shall take powers of zero and equate them with the powers of Brahman. It is said that 0 increases a number's power when suffixed. 0 is so powerful that it increases the power of number by 10 times with which it is suffixed. You keep on suffixing 0 to a number to increase power to infinity. And how it is, it can be compared just as a single 0 when added to a number multiplies its value in. Similarly, Brahman is infinite substratum that enhances the power of all finite beings, jivas, when realized. When we are able to realize Brahman, our infinite power also becomes infinite. The individual soul alone is limited, but when it is aligned with Brahman, it attains infinite potential and expansion. So here 0 suffixed is equal to, suffixed means number goes infinitely. Atman aligned with Brahman means Atman becomes limitless. Similarly, when 0 is added or subtracted to a number, it makes no difference in their power. It can also be compared with Brahman. Brahman is the unchanging reality and all-pervading like space. Presence of Brahman, like 0 in addition or subtraction, make no change in the nature of the material things or in this universe. 0 plus number is equal to number. Similarly, Brahman plus positive material things remains as positive material things, or 0 minus number is equal to minus number. Similarly, Brahman, when Brahman, in the presence of Brahman, if some negative thing is there, it remains negative. Its nature is not going to change. Like 0, Brahman make no change in the material world, although it exists inside and out of it. Similarly, when 0 is multiplied to a number, it reduces its power to 0. This can be interpreted as the dissolution of the individual's ahankara into Brahman. The finite, limited soul, when merged with the infinite, loses its separate identity. Just as any number multiplied by 0 becomes 0, the personal ahankara dissolves into the Brahman, losing the sense of separate identity. Number into 0 is equal to 0. Jiv merges into Brahman, becomes virtual Brahman. Similarly, 0 dividing a number increases its power to infinity. When it divides a number, it increases its power to infinity. And this is reminiscent of the infinite potential of surrender or contemplation. When the finite soul is subjected to division by 0, that is when it recognizes its dependence on the infinite Brahman, its potential becomes limitless. In other words, acknowledging the infinite source magnifies the power of the finite infinitely. Number divided by 0 is equal to infinity. Similarly, Jiv realizes infinite potential in Brahman. When a number is divided by infinity, its power reduces to 0. When the finite tries to measure or contain the infinite, it vanishes its significance. This reflects the humility before Brahman. In the face of infinite Brahman, all worldly powers, ahankar and distinctions are negligible, just like a finite number divided by infinity approaches 0. Number divided by infinity becomes finite, loses meaning. All distinctions dissolves into Brahman. Now we can say mathematical aspect, effect on number philosophical analogy with Brahman suffixing 0. Number grows infinitely. Atman aligned with Brahman attains infinite. So this is whole it is comparable, and to conclude we can say zero in mathematics acts as a stall symbol of Brahman. It is both potent and stall, nothing and everything. It can amplify finite existence infinitely. It can render anything to nothing. It is always present but often unnoticed. Just as Brahman is the source, substratum, and ultimate reality, zero in mathematics stully controls the fate of numbers, hidden yet omnipotent. And this concept of zero could be invented in India because of the quality of Brahman known to Indians. Other civilizations, they do not have these qualities known to their civilizations. So Western world was unaware of zero till 1582, when Pope Gregory amended the calendar called Gregorian calendar. The Europeans started calculating years. Before Gregory, the Europeans were calculating years before 1 AD as 1 BC, because they had no knowledge of zero. Even what to say of this Gregorian calendar, before Julius Caesar, the Romans recognized only 10 months in a year. Interestingly, the names of the months September, October, November, and December reflect their original positions in calendar, the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month, similar to the Sanskrit numbering system of the months. In fact, what we now call Christmas or Xmas today originally fell in the 10th month. In 48 to 47 BC, when Julius Caesar invaded Egypt, he defeated Ptolemy and secured the throne of Egypt. And Ptolemy's sister Cleopatra married to him. Cleopatra, she invited some astronomers from Egypt, and Roman calendar was reformed. And after that, 2 more months, January and February, added to the Roman calendar, and thus it consisted of 12 months, but still the leap years were left out. In 1582, when Pope Gregory introduced the Gregorian calendar, what he did? He introduced the leap years to this Julian calendar. And until 1582, Europeans were not familiar with the concept of zero, which is why their calendar went directly from 1 BC to 1 AD, as I told, without accounting for a year zero. When Pope Gregory introduced reforms to the Julian calendar, creating what became known as the Gregorian calendar, he discovered that existing calendar had no proper calculation for leap years. As a result, the calendar had gradually fallen behind 12 to 13 days. To correct this discrepancy, 13 days were added to realign the calendar with the solar year. However, this sudden adjustment sparked widespread outrage. In France and other parts of Europe, people were furious, feeling that 13 days of their lives had been stolen. Streets erupted in protests and even fights as ordinary citizens struggled to accept this radical change to the passage of time itself. So this happened. So this nature of zero, it has been very well, can be described by the Panini Sutra. A grammarian, Panini, is there, known in Sanskrit, is very famous. His famous work is Ashtadhyayi. To understand the exact nature of zero, we shall have to understand the Panini Sutra, Adarshanam Lopaha, where lop means non-visibility and not non-absence. So, wherever zero is present in all symbols, but it is not visible. Similarly, if zero is not visible in numbers written from left to right, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that doesn't mean that zero is missing. Zero is present in all numbers there but not visible, like Brahman. Brahman is not visible, but it never means that Brahman is missing from the creation. It might have been a problem with the European world where the actual nature of Brahman or all prevalent nature was not known, so they could not have invented zero. Zero has various nomenclatures. Zero is called in Sanskrit by various names. In Vedas, zero is denoted by Kha, Om Kham Brahma. In Yajurveda, the number zero has been defined by the term Kha, associating it with Brahman, who is Ananta, Aparimita, Aparimeya, Asankhya. Other nomenclatures of zero are Gagana, Ambara, Akasha, Antariksha, Ananta, Rikta, Vashu, Vashi, Nabha. Like that, all these numbers or words that denote either space or Brahman, they also denote zero. So in Sanskrit, not only the numeral, the word numerals were also used, and different numerals had different, they were denoted by different numbers, just like zero is denoted by Shunya, Kha, Ambar, Gagan. One is denoted by Chandra, Indu, Abj, Bhu, Dhara. So this type of, it is up to, these are 12, and we have up to 49 numerals. They are denoted by word numerals. Just like if one want to write in Sanskrit 13, he will write Vishwe Deva Kama Ati Zavti. If he wants to write 49, he will say Maruta. So these are different words used to denote numerals in Sanskrit, and this tendency is not available everywhere, anywhere in the world. Similarly, there were two methods of counting word numerals. One is Aryabhatta method, introduced by Aryabhatta in his Aryabhattiyam. Another is Katpayadi method. This method was prevalent before Aryabhatta. According to the commentator of Aryabhattiyam named Suryadev, Aryabhatta was well aware of this method, but he introduced his own method. So I have shown here how the Aryabhatta method was used. Different letters were assigned different numerals, and this was used like that. I am leaving this slide. Similarly, this Katpayadi method is there. These words Katapaya, they have been given, assigned different numerals, and this is how the words were made. In epigraphic record, we find this method applied. Example, Raghavaya. The word is Raghavaya. So Ra will be denoted by 2, Gha by 4, Va by 4, Ya by 1. So the word is 4, 2, 4, 4, 1, and by Vamatogati, by left to right notation, it will become 1, 4, 4, 2. If the author want to write the year 1442, he will write the word Raghavaya as per Katpayadi method. So similarly, now we can understand how this whole system originated in India, and after its origin in India, it transferred to Arabia. In Arabic language, Indian numerals were called Hindasa or Argam Hindiya, meaning Hindu numerals. Their shape was called Hurul al-Hind, meaning Hindu letters. Till 16th century, these numerals were called as Hindu numerals. After 16th century, in colonial period, they were beginning to be called as Arabian numerals. It shows a political ambition of colonial West. Now, Professor Weber, I also quote some scholars who accept this fact that Indian numerals passed to Arabia. Professor Weber says, it is to them, the Hindus also, that we owe to ingenious invention of numerical system. symbols, which in like manner possessed passed from them to Arabs and from these again to European scholars. By these latter, who were the disciples of Arabs, frequent allusion is made to Indians uniformly in terms of high esteem, and one Sanskrit word, even Utsa, has been passed into the Latin translation of Arabian astronomers. Similarly, Indian numerals transferred to Arab and Arabs introduced them to Western world. So they reached Western world by Arabia. When they controlled Spain in the beginning of 16th century, when Arabians controlled Spain in the beginning of 16th century, through trade and invasion, Indian numerals spread to the whole Europe. According to Mr. Clark, he says Arabic literary tradition, as generally interpreted, declares that numerals with zero and place value were invented by Indians and they were adopted by Arabs during the last quarter of the 8th century AD. Now this Sunya, it became Shifar or zero. From India, Sunya reached Arab, became Shifar. From Arab, this cipher reached Europe, following two routes, one Spanish and another Latin, which is illustrated below. First route is Shunya Sanskrit, Arabic it became cipher, Spanish Shipra, French Chiffre, and English cipher. Second route, Sanskrit Shunya, Arabic it became cipher, Latin it became Zafram, French zero, and English zero. This is how the transfer of words took place. I do not know how much time do I have. If my time is going out, then you can please inform me. I'll stop. Nor I'll keep on presenting. Now the binary number system. When we think of binary code, zeros or ones, we probably imagine modern computers, Silicon Valley or early 20th century mathematicians. But what if I told you this concept existed more than 2000 years ago in ancient India? Pingala, there is a scholar, Pingalacharya. He wrote a book on prosody or Chanda Shastra. He was an ancient Indian scholar who lived around 12th century BCE. This is my estimate, but as per modern scholars or Western scholars, he lived around 3rd century BCE. He authored the Chanda Shastra, a treatise on Sanskrit prosody, the study of poetic meters, while his main goal was to analyze Vedic meters like Gayatri, Anushtup, Trishtup. His techniques led to some mind-blowing mathematical insights. Binary number system, the modern prevalent binary number system is a base 2 system. Unlike our common base 10 decimal system, binary uses only 2 digits, 0 and 1, to represent numbers, forming the foundation of all digital computing because electronic circuits easily represent these states as off, 0 and on, 1. The system in which numbers are represented as a linear combination of powers of 2 increasing from right to left. 2 raised to the power 3, then 2, 1, 0, 8, 4, 2, 1, like that. This is a positional numeral system employing only 2 kinds of binary digits, 0, 1, called bits. The importance of this system lies in the convenience of representing decimal numbers using a 2-state system in computer technology. In Vedic system also, this binary system was used, just like Asti, Nasti, Agneya, Somya, Satya, Mithya, Jyotis, Apaha, Purusha, Prakriti, Laghu, Guru. Just like in modern system, we have on, off, open, closed, charged, non-charged, like that. So discovery of binary system is attributed to Gottfried Leibniz. At the end of 17th century, he is said to have come up with the idea when he interpreted Chinese hexagram depictions of Fuxi in I Ching, the book of Chinese, in terms of binary code. But in India, Pingal, the author of Chanda Shastra and a mathematician and metrist, discovered binary code more than 1200 years before Christ, or more than 200-300 years before Christ, while suggesting a prastar of Chanda. Pingal gives the following rule: Dviraradhe, place 2 when halved, Rupe Shuddham, when Rup unity 1 is subtracted, place 0, Dvishunya multiply by 2 when 0, Tavadardhe Tadgunitam square when halved. So I have given some representation here, just like the Gayatri Mantra, 4 padas are there, each pad will have 6 syllables. So as per this Prastar code, the 6 half the number will be 3. Dvirardhi, according to them, when it is half the number, 2 will be given. And then Tavad Ardhe Tadgunitam, it will have this system. Again we'll count it reverse way, since this 3 cannot be halved again, so we will subtract 1, and when 1 will be subtracted, Rupe Shuddham, we will have to put 0 here. Then again, whatever is balance, will half it, it becomes 1, then Dvirardhe, again 2 will be supplied. Similarly, since 1 cannot be halved, so we will subtract 1 from 1, it will become 0, and again, as per Rupe Shunyam, the Shunya will be there. But now in reverse order, when Rupe Shunyam, when Shunya is there, then Dvishunya, 2 will be applied, multiply by 2 and 0. Tavad Ardhe Tadgunitam. Again, when halved, then square will be there. 2 was halved, so 2 square will be there. Dvishunya, because it was Shunya, so 1, 2 and another 2, this square root of 2, it will be cube of 2. Then Tavad Ardhe Tadgunitam, again it was Ardha, so it will be the square of 2 and cube root of 2, it makes 2 raised to the power 6. And this is how the Gayatri Chanda will have 2 raised to the power 6 or 64 syllables. Similarly, we can have binary code for other chandas, Ushanit 128, Anushtup 8, 256, like that. So on it can be done. And even in Magana, we are using Gana system. Magana, Yagana, Ragana, Sagana, Tagana, Jagana, Bhagan, Nagana. So this Magana is represented by the 3 Dirghas. So these 3 Dirghas, if we take as 1, 1, 1, it will be like that. And as per modern digital language, it can be applied. Modern digital language, we can apply to them, and we will get 7 for Magana. For Yagana, we will get 7, and this way we can do this Pingala Chanda Shastra. Similarly, in Pingala Chanda Shastra, that ancient mathematician, Pingal was also aware of the metric system, the multiplication system. In his Chanda Shastra, he gives the method of multiplication of 2 matrices, both with 1 column and 1 row, while dealing with the prastar of Chanda, metrical expansion. His formula is Dvikau Glau, 2 matrices with 1 row and a column, Mishraucha, when multiplied will be represented as A1xB1, A2xB1, A2xB1, A2xB2, like that. Example I have given here, this is Gala, 1 column and another 1 row. So Gala, Gala, like that. So it will be Ga into Ga, La into Ga, Ga into La, and La into La. It will be Ga into Ga, it will be Gau, La into Ga, Lagau, Ga into La, Glau, and La into La, Lau. So this metric system was invented by Pingle well before the European scholars. Similarly, we find a mention of Fibonacci series, and it is said that Leonardo Pisano Fibonacci was an Italian mathematician considered as the most talented Western mathematician of the Middle Age. He introduced to Europe the sequence of so-called Fibonacci numbers, which he used as an example in Liber Abaci, Book of Abacus. This book played such an important role in the growth of mathematics in Europe that George Saturn, Introduction to the History of Science, in his book, called its publication the birth date of European mathematics, and described the book as the first monument of European mathematics. So Fibonacci numbers were discovered in India by Pingle in his Chanda Shastra and called this series as Matra Meru. While dealing with various types of Prastar of Gayatri Chanda, Pingle gave rule which is cited below. Prithagala Misrau. Each number in sequence is the sum of the preceding two. So this is the example 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. This series becomes. And this is his Matra Meru. I think my time is over, and I'm taking leave of you and withdrawing from my speech. Thank you.
Sir, specialization is in Vedas, Vedic sciences. Third specialization is in Veda, Vedic sciences, Vedic philosophy and culture, Indian civilizational knowledge system, religion, etc. The following are the details of Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya's publications: 46 books running into 60 volumes, 29 books published abroad, 17 books in India, 3 forewords, 2 books published with foreign scholars as co-authors, 67 research papers, 69 presentations, participated in 65 national and international conferences, has completed several research projects. He has visited several foreign countries to deliver lecture on his specialized topics. He was interviewed by Japanese TV channel Earth Wind Inc. The list is exhaustive. Thank you, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya, for the valuable input and the informative keynote address. Thank you, sir. The session is open to questions. Does anyone have any questions? I request Dr. Okay, sir. I request Dr. Hemalata, Associate Professor, Vijaya College, RV Road, Bangalore, and also a member of NIVS to render vote of thanks. Over to Dr. Hemalata.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. At this juncture of time, I remember the Sanskrit shloka, Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Respected Chairperson, Dr. Y.S. Gayatri, our esteemed speaker, Professor Ravi Prakash Arya Sarji, respected guest, Professor Veena, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, the participants, the research scholars, students, volunteers, and dear participants. On behalf of the organizing committee, that is BHS Higher Education Society and National Institute of Vedic Sciences, it is my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks. At the outset, I express our heartfelt gratitude to our respected chairperson for today's event, Dr. Y.S. Gayatri, for her gracious presence, valuable guidance, and constant encouragement, and has greatly contributed to the success of today's program. So I request Dr. Radhika Madam, Sanskrit head, to do the honors. So we are not able to hear. Madam is speaking.
Yeah, I'm not able to hear.
Yeah. I think you need to switch on the mic from your end, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So not you, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya ji, आपका नहीं है. Problem हमारे तरफ से है.
Okay. नमस्सभायै सभापतिभ्यश्च नमांसि आर्य प्रकाश महोदया च.
Still no voice.
Okay. See, it was a wonderful presentation about number theory. So, as Sir said, in Rig Veda, we have representation of numbers in addition and multiplication. So, for 333...
Sir, we are not able to hear Madam's remarks.
No.
The technical team.
Okay. No problem. Right. So, this is one time he says 111 into 3, and one times the same number is depicted as 300 plus 30 plus 3, but depending upon the situation or the yaga which is going on there. So
Echo sound is there. Echo.
So about
Echo is there. Echo.
series up to 10 to the power of 19. It is called as Lokam. And Buddhist text by name Lalita Vistara Grantha, it has a centimal scale and it counts up to 100 to the power of 341. And
Yeah.
the lowest number, least number quoted there is 7 to the power of minus 12, which is called as Dhanu there. And also in Ramayana, Kapi Sainya is counted in a lakh scale. So it starts from 10 to the power of 64 and it has an addition. So up to 10 to the power of 64 plus 10 to the power of 69, like up to it goes. And it has the addition of series also there we can see. And there are many things. So the time is very short. So I wanted to just share these things with you. And then also, Atharva Veda has a series of numbers, odd series in ascending order and an even series in descending order. And one thing I want to share with you is that in Rudra, Sir mentioned the numbers 1 to 33 and another series is there from 4 to 48. So Bhaskaracharya in his Siddhanta Shiromani, he has used this and derived the general formula for differential equation dy by dx to the power of n is equal to minus 1 to the power of n into 1 into dash 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 into n minus 1 divided by n. So India has such a legacy. So I just wanted to share this because our youngsters have to know this, have to know about this, because we don't have this in our curriculum. So that is the problem. Okay. Thank you, sir, for the wonderful
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your insightful thoughts. Now I would like to propose a vote of thanks for today's revered speaker. We are deeply thankful to our eminent speaker, Professor Ravi Prakash Aryaji, for his insightful, inspiring, and thought-provoking address. His words have enriched our understanding and motivated us to reflect deeply, especially on the positional number system, which we all study, which is one of the applications in the field of computer science, and maybe even in future, of course, it will have its own importance in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, and so on. It has its immense, impact on that, and definitely, I feel that the artificial intelligence should take the help of these mathematical concepts that is present in our Indian mathematical number system. And also, sir has mentioned the importance of zero, and that is why I said Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Shloka. So therefore, Purna is complete, and it is complete when it is suffixed with a particular number. So we owe immensely to our mathematical system. That is what I feel. And of course, he has mentioned about the Chamaka Prashna, where we talk about Eka Dashachame, Trayo Dashachame, Pancha Dashachame. So I have just started hearing, that's all. I have not made any attempt to understand, but constant hearing also helps us in getting into the world of these Vedic mathematics and science. And of course, he has mentioned about Laplace number system and Egyptian number system. And he has given a brief history about the mathematics that is involved in Vedas. And without the zero, the importance of zero, I insist on this, that the importance of zero has been given wonderfully by Sir. And of course, we have our all these, because of the zero, the hexadecimal, the binary, and other number systems also gets evolved. And there is a request from some of our viewers, Sir Ravi Prakash Arya ji, if you could share your slides with your permission, and if you can share it with us, we'll be able to understand it better. And of course, we have our recorded sessions as well. And due to the shortage of time, I'm feeling very bad personally because we are losing so much. To understand this, it is insufficient. So I thank you.
Yes. My time is also running out. It's a 12 night here. I'm sitting. I'm in
Very
US
sorry, sir.
presently.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
So we immensely thank you for your knowledge. I also would like to express our sincere thanks to our distinguished guest, Professor Veena, Principal, Oxford PU College. And I request Madam Radhika to do the honoring for her. That is Professor Gayatri, Dr. Y.S. Gayatri. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, ma'am, for gracing this occasion. Now, Professor Veena, ma'am, Principal, Oxford College. Thank you for your presence and your valuable time. Thank you very much. Ravi Prakash Arya ji, my sincere thanks to you once again, and we would like to meet you in person when you come to India at both of our institutions. So we will be in touch with you. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion and your time.
Thank you.
And extremely sorry for the time disparity there.
No problem, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My sincere thanks to all the dignitaries and the organizing committee, faculty members, volunteers, students for their dedicated efforts in making this program a grand success. So I thank the audience who are present there. ಕಾಣದಿರುವ ಕಣ್ಗಳಿಗೂ, ಕಾಣದೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ ಕೈಗಳಿಗೆ, ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳಿಗೆ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು, ಸಕಲ ಸನ್ಮಂಗಳಾನಿ ಭವಂತು. ಶುಭಮಸ್ತು.
ಟಿಪ್ಪರ್ ಬೇರೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೆ. ಹಲೋ 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 ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಹಲೋ Hello. I request all the people who are outside the auditorium to please come and be seated in the auditorium. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಸರ್?
ಹಲೋ ಚೀಕ್
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು
ಹಲೋ ಚೀಕ್
ತುಂಬ ಹತ್ರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಧಾರ ಮಾಡಿ
ಇದು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. A very warm good morning to all. So, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. I request the dignitaries to come onto the dais.
ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
I welcome our esteemed guest, the speaker of the session, Dr. Raghav Rao, the chairperson, Dr. T.V. Raju, and the guest of the session, Professor Ramesh Venkataramana and Shri Venkatesh from Nivas, NIVS. ಸರ್ ಇದೊಂದು ಚೇರ್ ಒಂದು ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ
ಒಂದು 3 ಜನ ಹೋಗಿ
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬಿಡಿ. ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಬರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರು 3 ಜನ ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿ ಪಿ ಟಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ. I extend a warm welcome to all esteemed guests. I also extend a warm welcome to all the professors, scholars and participants who have gathered here on this occasion of 7th International Conference on Relevance of Vedic Sciences in the Modern World. I am honored to introduce the speaker of the session, Dr. Raghav Rao, a chemical engineer with a wealth of experience and knowledge in food engineering and biotechnology. He completed his BTech from Andhra University and completed his PhD from Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. Sir started his journey in CFTRI in 1990 and went on to become the director of CSIR CFTRI. After his superannuation, he has joined IIT Tirupati as Dean, Admin and Finance, and he is also serving as a professor of chemical engineering. Sir has 30 significant achievements, out of which 25 were converted into processes and technologies, and out of which 15 were transferred to the industry. To name, virgin coconut oil technology was a Sir's innovation which has been transferred to 70 industries. Sir has guided 25 students and fellow scientists for PhD in food engineering and biotechnology and is currently guiding 8 PhD students in chemical engineering at IIT Tirupati. Sir has received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the International Association of Engineering and Food, North France. He has been a recipient of prestigious NASI Reliance and Vasvik Awards for his applied research. Sir has also taken up projects which has been in the area of food processing, which has been funded by both national and international collaborations. It is an honor to have you here, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce the chairperson for the session, Dr. T.V. Raju, Treasurer BHS HES, who is a great academician with 48 years of teaching experience in the area of commerce, business management, finance, and HR skills. Sir has worked as professor and director at RV Institute of Management, RV Teachers College, and RV Training Academy, Bangalore. He is founder director of Swami Vivekananda Foundation for Teachers. He is the managing trustee of Vinay Foundation and president of Yuvaka Sangha. Sir is a recognized research guide and has successfully guided for more than 25 PhD scholars. He has presented and published more than 60 papers in both India and abroad. Sir has authored many textbooks on commerce and management subjects. He has also published more than 50 books in both Kannada and English. To name a few, Modalu Manavanagu, Adarsha Purusha Srirama, Light and Delight, etc. Sir's contribution to the field of education is immense. Due to the time constraint, I briefed a few. I welcome you, sir. It is my privilege to welcome Shri Ramesh Venkataramana, Principal, Ediyuru Government PU College. Sir has completed his MSc in Physics from Mangalore University in 1991. He is the Treasurer of Principals Association and a member of PU Board of Examiners. We welcome you, sir. I also take this opportunity to introduce Shri Venkatesh, member of NIVS, who is a retired General Manager of RBI, who has served RBI for more than 38 plus years at various centers of RBI. Post-retirement, he is currently working as consultant in risk management, and he is the trustee of Panchajanya Foundation, which is an NGO contributing for the area of health and education, and he is also working as a visiting faculty at various banking training institutions. I welcome you, sir. I welcome you all for this session and I request our speaker for the session, Dr. Raghav Rao, to please take over the session.
Both this also working. Savhaya Namaha. Yellarigu namaskara. It's such a powerful light now, it won't be working. No, it won't project. At the outset, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be with you today and share my learnings on the role of spirituality in management. So that's why I appreciate the organizers selecting the topic, the relevance of Vedic sciences in the modern world, very much apt and very much required. Under this aegis, the topic given to me was management through spirituality, in short, Vedic management. If I see my chair and co-chair are experts in management, I don't have exposure to management. At the same time, I do not have exposure to Sanskrit as well, but still I take this opportunity to expose my ignorance so that I can learn something from you. This is the beautiful place where I am working at the moment, and I am also not introduced, I could not put it in my resume. I am happy to share that I am Honorary Director of International Institute of Vedic Sciences, Rishivatika campus near Madanapalli, which is the brainchild of my Guruji, Dr. Vedavyas, IAS, PhD. He was former Additional Chief Secretary of Andhra Pradesh State. Next one, please. Slides, please. Hello. Move the slides. Next one, please. I start my presentation acknowledging my Guru, Puja Sri Vedavyas, for his divine grace, immense kindness and spiritual guidance throughout my life. I also thank Professor Sriram sir for he is also professor of English and a spiritual person. His immense kindness, words of wisdom and spiritual guidance. Swami Vidya Prakash Andagiri, whom I started hearing at the age of 8 years. Brahmasri Sri Samavedam Shanmuga Sharma of Sri Peetam fame. Also all my sons of my Guruji who played the role of their friend, philosopher and guide. Sri Gadadhar and Sri G.S. Raju, Honorary Directors of IIVS for support. I wish to make a disclaimer, anything useful today that I present, that is by the grace of my Guru, and all the inaccuracies and mistakes are exclusively mine. Next one, please. Hello, please be alert here. Already we are losing time. You all agree that life is full of problems, both real and perceived. Yeah, underline the word perceived. They need not be real problems. They are perceived as problems. None is free except two categories. One is the perfect being who has transcendented this. The other one is absolute idiot who do not have any idea of this. The issue with the problems is they get us tension and stress. Rishis of yesteryears have given several solutions. Even though problems are modern, their solutions are ancient, but still are working to the day. As you know, Vedas have all the components of Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas and Upanishads. Mahabharata is revered as a Panchama Veda. Bhagavad Gita has an important role in Mahabharata. It gains importance especially because the teacher is none other than Bhagwan Krishna himself. I confess, again, I am only a student of Gita, sharing whatever little I learned from till now. Next one, please. Dharma indicates the way of life and the Jnana indicates the ultimate aim of life. In order to convey these two things to the mankind, Vedas and other Shastras have come into existence. Gita is a song. It is also a Upadesha in the current context. In other words, Gita is a song Upanishad in the form of Upadesha. So when we say Shastra is Brahman, we are referring to Vedam only. The last part of Vedas, that is Jnanakanda, is Upanishads. The essence of Upanishads is Gita. That's why whatever we are talking about Gita, we are talking directly relevance to it is essence of Vedas only. Anything, any talk or any presentation or any scripture, if Falasruti is told in the beginning, everybody will get interested. The Falasruti of Gita is, it can remove the bhaya. What kind of bhaya? Bhava bhaya. Means it is the bhaya of the cycle of birth and death. And also soka moha. Soka and sorrow are little bit different. Sorrow is a real event or something happened making displeasure, but soka is repeatedly remembering that and keep on carrying its weight all the time. So why we are these things, the Gita gives internal clarity and inner peace. The importance of these two we will see as we progress in the lecture. Next one, please. All the mankind is given two kinds of lifestyles, Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga. Pravritti Marga is for householders and Nivritti Marga is for the sages. Dharma Charana has two benefits, that is Abhyudayam, that is materialistic benefit, and Nishreyam, which is the higher level, Moksham, which we will not talk at the moment. It should be noted that spirituality or scriptures, they are never against materialistic benefit, which is again a misnomer, misconception prevalent. They are never against materialistic benefit, but only they cautioned about the side effects. It is something like I am enjoying the beauty of roses. It is telling not to be hurt by the thorns around. So that is the only thing it is telling. In fact, even though it is Gita is taught to eligible disciple of Arjuna, but we are also all of submerged in the ocean of Soka and Moha in some form or the other. That's why it is relevant for anybody. Next one, please. As I understand, the aim of management is for success. It could be individual or an organization. Again, organization is nothing but the individuals. It is not the buildings, it is not the infrastructure. Success versus failure, if you look at it, success always is a minority and failure is a majority. Every individual or an organization wants to be successful. Nobody wants to be failure. But how do you define success? Say, for example, earning too much money, is it a success? Reaching a higher position, becoming a CEO of a company or a principal of a college, is that the achievement? Is that defined as a success? Our Shastra says success is achieving dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Look at the beautiful order. Artha means earning money not at the cost of kama, means sacrificing all your personal life, your family life, relations, everything you are sacrificing. Your soul mind is you want to become Ambani. So that is not the real success. At the same time, one may be tempted to go for a illegal means and that kind of thing. So he is compromising on dharma. So whatever you achieve, it should be under the ambit of dharma only. Or you look at kama. Kama means desire. Any desire, I want to become CEO. Not by using a different means at the cost of others and I'll achieve my goal. So again, dharma is the caution. That's why dharma and moksha are guarding ardha and kama. Again, earning ardha, the purpose of ardha, after meeting my requirement, again that should be spent on dharma. That is the real purpose of ardha. Then what is dharma? Dharma encompasses yama and niyama. These are the first two limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. Patanjali has given 8 limbs, Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs. Out of them, these are the first two. Yama refers to ethical restraints, whereas these are universal principles that guiding us how to interact with the external field, external world. That's why everybody is equipped with the external world. The problem is with the internal world only. Next one, please. So sublimbs of yama are ahimsa, that means non-harming, non-violence in thought. If you look at any action that we do, the origin is at the thought level, then it comes to the speech level, then it goes to the action level. So one of my professors, when I was a PhD student, was telling me a story. Suppose you are traveling in a bus. Suddenly somebody trods on your feet. You will get very angry. Suddenly you will say angrily, "Kya be andha hai kya?" Means very angrily, "Are you blind?" And when you look at him, imagine the situation, he is really a blind man. He is not seeing, not able to see. You feel very pathetic. You wish I could have controlled my tongue for a minute. I should have. So we should give the gap between the thought and the speech. That period, if you enlarge this kind of situation, we will not end up. That compassion we will maintain throughout the life. So, in thought, word and deed, we should have the compassion. Then satya, everybody agrees, truthfulness. See, imagine a situation, but everybody is telling lies. It will be a chaotic situation. We do not know which to believe, which not to believe. So that is the importance of truth. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya is not only chastity, but also moderation. Moderation in doing things also is construed as brahmacharya. Aparigraha, non-gathering of unnecessary information. The problem is, every day the moment you open, you are exposed to so much poison through newspapers, TV, social media. So many unnecessary information is filled in the brain, especially the young children whose brain is like an active catalyst. It can absorb any amount of information. So what is happening? That really makes us to lose the focus. That was the problem. Next one, please. So this practice of these two things makes a person. Yeah, niyama we have come. Yeah, niyama is at this is another part of first limb only. Yama, niyama are the first two steps of Ashtanga Yoga. Here it is saucha, purity, that is cleanliness. It is not. See, why cleanliness important? See, once we asked Guruji, is it required to visit temple every day? He asked, why are you taking bath every day? Because I sweat, I'll get dirty. So if your mind also can keep kept pure every day after day, you need not go to temple. So that means it is the bath is for the physical body, while the prayer or visiting the temple is for the soul. So that's where the saucha comes. Santosha, that is happiness within the internal things, not by getting something external. For example, I get a car, I feel very happy. How many days, how much time? 1 week, 1 month, 1 year? So it fades away. The real happiness, the essence is the real happiness is not because of the materialistic benefit. It is something internal. Whereas if I help somebody, bring a smile on somebody's face, that gives the real happiness. And another thing is accepting one's own circumstances and others. Most of the time, the attitude will be, I am okay, you are not okay. That should not be the spirit. It should be, I am okay, you are also okay. Then things will be much better. Tapas, this is the austerity. Swadhyaya is a self-study, scriptures for understanding. And Ishvara Pranidhana, that is surrendering to the higher self, accepting that there is a power that is guiding all these things. The uniformity in this system is coming because of some other higher power. So when you surrender this, you get the sense of non-doership. We will feel that we are only instrumental in the larger canvas of this whole universe, cosmic canvas. So practice of both yama and nema makes a man a natural leader. He need not be, once he follows these 8 principles, the subsets what we talked, he becomes a natural leader. He need not be told how to do a good manager or how to be a good leader. He will become automatically a natural leader. Next one, please. So everyone talks about successful leader. However, there will be many failures about whom nobody talks. When you look at Bhagavad Gita, the sloka says in Gnanakanda, 4th chapter, 34th verse, Tadvitta pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnanina tattva darshanaha. Many of you may be aware, Shirdi Sai Baba, of a spiritual saint in Maharashtra. One time, he is explaining to his devotee about this sloka. He asked the devotee, instead of gnanam there, if I replace that word agnana, how do you like the commentary, how to interpretation of this sloka? Then he says, Sankara Bhashya is not giving such interpretation, so I have no comments to offer. Then Sai Baba explains, suppose I am not able to see properly, I have a cataract. What is to be done, that cataract has to be removed, then automatically my sight is restored. I need not have to be given a new eye or a new sight. Similarly, in a well, water is not being used for quite some time. Just removing the surface algae that is accumulated, water is ready for reuse. No need of taking out entire oil to distill it or to purify it. So similarly, it is easier to understand a failed leadership and reasons for the failure rather than talking about the successful leadership. It is again the neti neti marga. That means not this, not this. If you keep on eliminating not this, finally what remains is the essence. Next one, please. So Arjuna, as you know the story, he only requests Krishna to take his chariot and place between the two armies. By looking at his own kith and kin in the Kaurava army, suddenly he gets disillusioned. He starts arguing that it's not a good idea to fight the war. Is it spontaneous decision to fight a war? No. He has consulted. There are several deliberations among the brothers, taken the inputs from his noble wife Draupadi, Satyaki, brother of Krishna. Under the guidance of Krishna only all these discussions happened. Finally they decide that we should go for the war. Then because of all the natural abilities, Arjuna was selected as the natural leader. That situation he is telling that when it is time to deliver, he says, he start putting this argument that I don't want to fight the war. Imagine a situation that, here, why that has happened, why this is in the next one, please. Why in the nick of the moment he has done that? So, he says, Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna, Nacharadyam Sukhanicha, Kinno Rajyena Govinda, Kim Bhogar Jivate Nava. He says, I don't want any more the kingdom. I don't want any pleasures associated with this. How can I kill my own kith and kin? Next one, please. So, if I am doing all this, my own people, if I am killing, what is the fun in enjoying the fruits? How can I put arrows on my own revered teachers, Acharya, Drona and Bhishma? It is something like, imagine our situation of Operation Sindhur, all war is ready, suddenly our army general says, no, it's not good idea to fight a war, even though the neighboring country is a rogue country, but we should not fight a war, we should drop it. So that kind of situation. So the failure delivery at the nick of the moment, why this happened? He is having all the qualities of a warrior to fight the external enemies of the external world. But what he lacked is the internal world. He lost the control over mind. He lost the internal harmony. That's where this has happened. Then Krishna start giving the counsel. Next one, please. So he further keep on giving the arguments. Let's see, how can I put arrows on my revered Bhishma and Dronacharya? So they are worthy of worship. So how can I do this? Then he thought, I put up, this sounds good because just now we said in Niyama, we said we should have compassion. So Arjuna is also having compassion. It is sounding good. He also thinking that I am making a good argument. Lord Krishna will appreciate me. But in fact, this is a misplaced compassion. So no sin will come. It is the duty of army to kill the enemy. Our army at the border, they are meant for killing the enemy. So no sin for them. If I take a gun and kill somebody, then it is a sin, it is illegal. So that distinction he lost at this point. Next one, please. Then instead of, he anticipated appreciation, but Krishna gave a good drubbing. Klaibyam asmagamam pardham naitatva upapajyate. He said, you stop this. You stop this, and klaibyam means it is unmanliness, napunsakata. So this is not meant for you. Anybody can do it. It is not meant for you. Means Krishna acknowledges the mighty warrior in Arjuna. So it is not meant for you. It may be for anybody. So this is your hridaya daurbalya. So that is, it is not at all meant for you, the weakness of heart. So you arise and take the your weapons and continue your battle war. Here I bring to your attention that the Swami Vivekananda, most radical spiritual leader of the country, when he was asked to, what is your most favorite sloka in Bhagavad Gita, he picked up this story, this sloka. He said, this is very much required for the Indian people, because most of our are thinking that we are weak, we are not great. So they are forgetting that they are Amrutaputras, that is children of eternity, immortality, which is mentioned in the Upanishads. Next one, please. So in spite of all these initial teachings, Arjuna continues lamenting, how can I fight this war? This is not a good idea. Instead of killing all of them, enjoying the kingdom, I prefer living by begging. And another argument says, there is no guarantee that I will win the war even if I fight. So this is the argument he puts. And finally, he says, I am confused because he is losing his internal balance. He lost control over his mind. Karpanya dosha pahata swabhava. Krupanatva. Karpanya means krupanatva. Krupanatva means loss of atma gnana. Means the very purpose of birth is for the achieving salvation or a higher things. That knowledge itself is lost, so totally he is disillusioned as he is worried and his mind taken over his intellect. That's why he surrenders to Krishna and says, you only please teach me what is the way forward. Because he has all the qualities to fight the outside enemies, but he is not equipped to fight the inner world. That's where the problem came. So as an answer to the argument that even I fight that war, I may not win, then Krishna continues. Next one, please. Then Krishna says, Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhu mate sangosta karmani. You don't worry about the result. You have only right to perform the action. But there is no entitlement for the results. That doesn't mean that you don't get the result. This is one of the most misunderstood or misinterpreted concept or sloka in Bhagavad Gita. Many people say that what is the motivation if I am not getting the results, why should anybody put action? Here, he did not say that you will not get action. He did not say na phaleshu kadachana. It said only ma phaleshu kadachana. Means don't be after the result. Result will come. When the result will come today or result will come after 1 week or after one birth, at its own time it will come. But result orientation should not be in your mind. For example, once Guruji was mentioning, one lady has come asking, I don't have children, why don't you give a blessing that I should have some issues? Then he said, no problem, there is a Avadambara Vriksha is there. To that you do at least 10 pradakshinas. So 10 circumambulations you do, you will get the child. Imagine a situation that lady started doing that. After third circumambulation, third pradakshina itself, suppose you start checking her stomach whether she has become, results started showing whether she has become pregnant. So it will not happen that way. Everything has its time. Imagine another situation, you have put a seed for germination. Every alternate day you start digging and see whether it is germinated. Certainly it will not germinate, it will die. So one has to give its own time. So that's why he said, you do your action, but don't worry about the result. Even materialistic point of view, if you take also, I can give you another example. Suppose everybody must be playing caroms. When you are playing caroms, just the very thought that whether this coin will go in the pocket or not, that thought itself will make your hand shake. If you don't think that, don't entertain the thought and simply hit it, you will be successful. So even in the materialistic world, see, it's constant worry whether an exam I will pass or not. That worry itself will put you not able to read for the exam properly. Next one, please. So, if the person start not worrying about the results, that is practicing nishkama karma, means without anticipating the results. Results will come. Without constant anticipation, he will be very successful. He will be sthita prajna. He will be a person with a balanced mind. Once person is with a balanced mind, he can be a good manager, he can be a good leader, he can be a good scientist, he could be a good human being. Everything occurs to him naturally. Immediately Arjuna becomes curious, what are the characteristics of this sthita prajna? Sthita pragnasya kya bhasha samadhi sasya keshava sthitidi kim prabhasheta kim asitam vrajeta kim. He wants to know what are the enlightened person look like, how he behaves. He is forgetting that even the enlightened person looks like us only. Even Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, he also eats, he also sleeps, he also does all the daily chores normally. But his mental balance is different. He is something like a sea. Any number of rivers adding to the sea, the level won't increase. Any amount of water getting evaporated, the level of the sea won't change. So that is sthita prajna. He is so stable. That kind of mental balance is sthita prajna. If we not expecting results is rajoguna. Everybody has three gunas, tamo, rajo and sattva. So expecting result is rajoguna. Not doing any action is tamoguna. Doing action without expecting result, nishkama karma, is sattva guna. That we have to cultivate more, practice more. So everybody has all these gunas, but only thing is the relative proportions are different. Next one, please. So then Krishna explains him how to become a sthita prajna. What are the practices that he should do? In fact, Sankhya is a gnana. Bhagavad Gita perhaps should have ended at Sankhya Yoga. Had not Arjuna asked so many questions, he started asking questions for clarifications. The rest of the 16 chapters have come. That's what many of the learned people will say. Next one, please. While explaining sthita prajna, Krishna cautions him the opposite also. Gata prajna means who is exactly opposite to sthita prajna. Jhayato vishayan pumsa sangaste upashayayate sanjat sanjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate krodat bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti vibhrama smriti bhramsat buddhinaso buddhinasat pranashyati. It is one of the very, very popular slokas of Bhagavad Gita. What he was telling is, I want something, if I constantly think of it, that leads to too much undue attachment for that object or a person or something. Then I will start getting anger if I am not getting it, or somebody getting it, or somebody getting close to the person whom I want to be close. This kind of all problems will come. So kama is always followed by krodha, because out of frustration, krodha will immediately appear. then buddhi, intellect start functioning, then it leads to Smruti Brahma. Next one, please. Smruti Vibhrama means it has a multiple dimensions. I will not get the memory, whatever I read in the scriptures or whatever my gurus are taught me, those things also will not come to my memory. I will forget them. What I am supposed to forget, I will remember. What I am supposed to remember, I will forget. This kind of very pathetic situation will come. This is what Krishna cautioned him then. Next one, please. Then Arjuna further asks, so he asks this question, O Lord, why a person is, I know that what is wrong and what is right. I know this is a illful act, but still many human beings does this act in spite of knowing that it is not correct, that is incorrect, as if they are compelled by somebody. Why this is happening? So for this question, Arjuna explains to him. Next one, please. So here he explains to him, Indriyani paranyahu, indriyebhya param manaha, manastu parabuddhi, yo buddhe paratastu saha. He is telling the hierarchy. The senses, the physical senses, that panchendriyas, then gnanendriyas, they are superior to gross body. The superior to senses is the mind. Next stage is intellect, the buddhi. Beyond buddhi is the atma, soul. Even look at the chariot of Lord Krishna, you can appreciate this sloka. The horses are indriyas. The reins are the mind. The sarathi is buddhi, intellect. In this case, Atma himself is the Sarathi, Lord Krishna himself. If the mind is under the control of intellect, then situation is uncontrolled. If the reversal happens, then you lose the control. That's why those people are doing the wrong things in spite of knowing that that is the illful act. So by acknowledging this, Arjuna is advised by Bhagavan Krishna, you surrender your lower self to this higher self and try to overcome your inner enemy, so that inner war you will be winning, so that external war automatically you will be winning. It is not that easy for me at one point of time how to comprehend that, why we are not able to comprehend spiritual things that easily. Why I am not able to visualize God or Atma or whatever it is. So I asked Guruji, why it is like that? Why I am not able to perceive these things? What is the difficulty? Then he explained, giving an example, suppose God is something on the first floor. You are not able to see through this wall because you don't have the ability to penetrate your eyesight through this concrete wall or whatever structure is there to see what is above the roof. What you can do, you go there and take the stairs and walk up and see who is there. That is nothing but Ashtanga Yoga or sadhana. Some sadhana you are doing. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Samadhi. This kind of steps you do and you see, you perceive it. So like that, the soul is beyond the intellect. That way we are not able to truth is not comprehensible intellectually. It has to be experienced. Then only we will visualize this. So to control, then Krishna told Arjuna, to control mind is the most important thing. Next one please. Then he asked, who will help me? Who will help me to control my mind? Then he says, excuse me, especially it is meant for the youngsters. See, elders already, they know all these things. Please raise your hands. If it is not of your interest, I will stop the lecture. Don't hesitate. You should be very frank. No, what you are talking is not making sense to us. I will be more than happy to stop. Okay, I'll continue. Okay, sir. No, for elders you are appreciating, but this is... Okay. Okay, sir. I'll continue. So, I will control my mind. Who will help me? Then says, nobody will help. You have to help yourself. Uddhare atmanam means you uplift yourself by yourself. Elevate yourself through the power of your mind. Why it is so important? Just now we have seen the mind can be my friend or a foe. If it is under the control of intellect, it is my friend. It will help to move forward, to do everything right in life. If it is intellect is under the control of mind, then I cannot move forward. It will be my foe. Even Nikola Tesla, he told that self-help is the best help. Either guru or scriptures, they will give us the path, they will show us the path. What journey we have to do ourselves. For example, yesterday I am coming to Bangalore from Tirupati. I will see the board Bangalore 30 kilometers or 40 kilometers, something direction it will show. I cannot stop my car there and saying that this is Bangalore. That is not Bangalore. That is only signpost saying that Bangalore is this direction, you have to continue your path. So the role of guru or role of scriptures is that much only. They will show the direction. They are only signposts. They will show the direction. We have to walk our path to that. So again, I take the example of Shirdi Sai Baba's life. In his teachings, he says, if you walk one step to me, I will walk 10 steps to you. So one of the lazy devotee, he uses his mathematical skills and says, I am subtracting 1 from this 10. Lord Sai Baba, you only walk remaining 9 steps towards me. So that kind of laziness won't work. It has to be effort, has to be from the individual. Without that, it will not happen. Another issue is, when I am successful, entire world is with me. Everybody is there to celebrate your success as a leader or a manager or anything. But when you fail, you have to face the music all alone. So then how to achieve this? Next one. Okay, you told me I have to do the sadhana, I have to walk my path. Agreed. But what all I have to do? So in this chapter of 6, it is almost a standard operating procedure. Stepwise, Lord has given how to sit, how to do, what kind of asana you have to sit, what kind of place you have to sit, it is a remote place, closing your eyes, putting your neck, all the limbs your vertebra, vertical, all these minute instructions he has given. So this is the compassion for the God has given for the human being. Out of compassion, he went to such a minute details how to do this thing. See, why I have to stand erect and keeping my spine straight? As you know, we all have chakras, different Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Pratyahara, like that Visuddhi, Agna, Sahasrara. All these chakras have to be aligned in a single line. Then only when the Muladhara from the Kundalini Shakti arises because of sadhana, it goes vertically properly. If any bend is there, immediately you will get immediate health repercussions. Many people have suffered when doing this improperly, this sadhana, and facing the issues until again Guru's intervention is required to start them. So that's why he has given such a clear instructions meticulously to follow the procedures to do this. Next one, please. Many people will say, every day I am doing meditation for 10 minutes or meditation for half an hour. See, I wish to submit that nobody can do meditation. We can sit. See, the first step what I can do is I can sit and close my eyes. That itself is a great achievement because the body repels. The senses have the natural tendency to go outside. They don't want to be closed and shut from external world. That itself starting a rebelling. So if you are able to sit closed eyes for 10 minutes, that is a great achievement to start with. So then what we can do, we can gradually sit like that, observe our thoughts. Thoughts are like waves. You observe yourself. Every day you just, from today onwards, you start practicing. Sit for 10 minutes, closed eyes, and observe what kind of thoughts are coming. They are really thought waves, we say in English. They are really waves. They come and go. So don't go along with the thought, just observe. So as gradually the number of thoughts will reduce. So then you will go to the state of dharana. Only one thought start coming. You are able to focus on single thought. Then one fine morning, that single thought also gets dropped and you will enter the state of dhyana. So meditation I cannot do. I can go up to dharana. From dharana, naturally it slips into meditation when it happens. So for this, Guruji told one story. There is a farmer in a village. He is very tired of doing plowing of all his 4 acres land he has. So he goes to the Guruji who is doing penance on the top of the hill. Guruji, this is my problem, you please help me. Guruji says, I will tell you one mantra. If you recite that mantra, one bhuta will come, something like genie. It will do all the jobs for you. But the only problem is, if you don't give work to that bhuta, it will kill you. No, Guruji, I have enough work for it. I can already have written for 3 months work. I can, any amount of work I can do that. So, okay, go ahead. This is the mantra. He recites the mantra and bhut comes. He narrates. So all these 3 acres land, 3 times you plow. He thought at least that will take 10 days. Like that list of works he has done, he has narrated, thinking that at least take 3 months. But in 3 days that fellow has finished and asked for more work. So like that, then all his works, what he thought as innumerable, are exhausted in no time. He is worried. Next task, if he is not assigned, he will kill him. So in the dead of the night, again he runs to Guruji. Guruji, this is a problem. He whispers something in his ears and sends back the disciple. The disciple comes back and asks the genie, you climbed the tree. He climbs the tree. Yeah, I climbed. Then you come down. I have come down. Now don't ask me. If you come down, climb the tree. If you climb, come down. Don't ask me until I come and tell you next task, you keep doing this. So that how he got rid of that bhut. So now the best part is that bhut is nothing our mind. It is our mind is like that. If you allow it, it will jump one tree to another tree, one thought to another thought. Today I am here, I am listening to the lecture, suddenly my thought goes to somewhere at home. I am giving you the lecture, suddenly I will think what my wife is doing in the hotel room. So that is the power of distraction mind. That's why even in the modern psychology they keep explaining mindfulness. Your mind jumps from one, like a monkey, from one tree to the other. Don't allow it. You make it climb down the tree, walk little bit to the next tree, then only climb the tree. Let it not jump from one tree to the other, so that there is a gap between the two trees. That means there is a gap between the two thoughts. So as you increase the gap of between two thoughts, gradually you will go into the state of thoughtlessness, nothing but meditation. So ultimately mind control is the answer for these all issues. Why it is so important? You yourself see, most of the time we will not be talking externally, but internally mind will be churning. That's where our energy is wasted. It is, everybody drives car or two-wheelers. It is something like you put in a neutral gear and keep on pedaling your accelerator. Your fuel is wasted, but you are not moving anywhere. Same thing happens for the mind. 90% of our energy is consumed by thinking, only 10% for our physical activity. That is the problem. That's why it is so important. Next one, please. Then, after explaining this mind, he says, you are doing dhyana for some time every day, say 20 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it is. Then you are stepping out of your house to do your normal day-to-day activities. But we have to be so careful that whatever we are doing, these external activities should not violate or should not be out of sync with my preparation for the meditation. If I do something, I am doing for 20 minutes of meditation, it is not a license to live rest of the life the way I want. It is not a license to kill. So I have to be very, very careful. What are the precautions that I have to take? I have to take moderation in everything. Ahara, vichara. Both the things I have to be moderate. Yuktahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu. So, everything moderation, eating or pleasures, balance of work and sleep, everything I have to be mindful of it. Even modern psychology says work-life balance. This terminology you can imagine in the ancient texts of Vedas, Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, these things are talked and standard procedures were given by us. Sleep is so important. Again, it is not the number of hours when you are sleeping. If say suppose you are sleeping 6 hours, 10 to 4 is the ideal time. If you sleep 12 to 8 also, 12 to 6 also 6 hours, or 2 to 8 also 6 hours, but all are not same. Brahmakala, morning, early morning, one has to get up. So these are all early to rise, early to bed, makes a man wise, and all these our grandma used to tell. These are all absolute truths. So you should eat early and at least gap should be there before you sleep. Then only body will repair itself during the night. If you eat heavy food, rich calorie food at 10 o'clock, by the time it digests, it will be minimum 2 hours, 12 o'clock. Your sleep, quality of sleep goes down. So that is where Krishna is cautioning precaution, moderation in everything. Next one, please. Yeah, organizers, please tell me the time limit. Professors have the habit of We are called Maikasuras. Once mic is given, they never leave it. Please tell me at least 10 minutes before or 5 minutes before. So after doing all this, I will get a stable mind. So stable mind means what? It is something like a lamp that is kept when there is no air. If there is no air, lamp is very stable. Or you take a lake. Stable lake is very without any waves. The moment I throw one stone, immediately waves will come. That means the stone is nothing but my thought. So my mind is like a lake, pleasant lake, stable lake. My thoughts disturb it. Or turbid water. In turbid water, if I look at my face, I cannot see. You allow with the time, the dust will settle and water will be very clear. I can see my reflection. So with practice, my mental clarity will increase, my focus will increase. All decisions I take will be very good. Accurate correction will be there. Then Arjuna, next one please. Arjuna, after listening all to this, next one please. After all this, see, you are telling so many things. This is very nice to hear, but still my mind, chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramade balavruddhudam. See, in spite of you teaching me so many things, listening so many things, I am getting convinced, all that is fine, but my manas is really chanchalam, means it is wavering. Why this is like that? Next one, please. He says it is as difficult as catching air. Krishna does not discourage him. Asamsayam mahabhaho mano durnigraham chalam. No doubt, what you are saying is absolutely right. It is very difficult, extremely difficult to control your mind, but it is not impossible. That's what he said. It is dussadhyam, not asadhyam. It is extremely difficult, but not impossible. So, your nirantara abhyasa, nirantara sadhana is always required so that you will get vairagya. Before vairagya, that means dispassion. Before vairagya, you should have viveka. Viveka is a discrimination, which is good, which is bad. Dropping the bad, which is useless or unnecessary, is vairagya. Then only you will. It is something like detached attachment or attached detachment. So this only will lead us the way. So without detaching to something, we cannot attain the next thing. For example, even the simplest thing, walking. If I walk, I have to detach one of my foot from the floor. If I don't want to practice the detachment, then I have to walk like a robo without lifting my legs. Even speaking. So my lips have to depart, then only I can pronounce certain words. So this detachment and attachment we have to practice. Look at the birds. The birds, some of these birds, they will show extraordinary care for their kid, the chicken or chicks that are born, until they are grown. Once they are grown of their age, they just say go. They are on their own. Their life is no more attachment. So whereas we get attached to our kids, we interfere with their lives even after they are grown up, then even grandchildren. So like this story eternally goes. So we should know where attachment and detachment has to be balanced. Next one, please. Yeah. So I come to conclusions slowly. So this is the summary slide. I want to say that the practical hints offered by ancient wisdom for successful management of individuals. If I am able to manage myself as an individual, automatically I will be a good manager, I will be a good leader, I will be leading a good institution. Keep the body fit through proper food and exercise. Strive balance between professional and personal life. Quality of life is more important than quantity of life. See, if I have 50 lakhs in bank balance or 5 crores in bank balance, it won't make much difference. I can eat only 3 times. It is something like, science students are there, it is something like oxygen. Minimum quantity of oxygen concentration is required. Excess is toxic. So it is zero order reaction once minimum oxygen concentration is required. So same is the life. Quality of life is important. If all my time I spend in earning money, I don't have time for my personal life. Next half of the life I have to spend all that money for my health. It is a self-defeating purpose. To help others as much as possible, bring smile on their face. Many people say you should be good at maintaining human relations, HR you should maintain. My understanding is there is nothing like HR. You help people whenever you get an opportunity. That gets multiplied and it comes back to you when you really need it. You just start practicing, you will see the results for yourself. It may not be explicitly written like this in the books. Practice prayer and meditation to have a balanced mind and buddhi, intellect for a healthy mental and spiritual life, which gives real happiness and fulfillment of life. Success is measured by others. See, others will tell when I am successful, whether I become CEO, that's why I am successful. If I become a principal, that's why I am successful. They judge it. But satisfaction and fulfillment is internal. I know for myself. I may think Ambani is extremely happy, but who knows, he may be very unhappy having hundreds of his own problems. That's why you see all these millionaires, at the end of the career, they become wise and they start in philanthropy. All these associations, foundations they will put and start doing human service. Next one, please. Next one, please. This is the conclusion. Even the corporate now they are accepting intelligence coefficient alone is not sufficient. Emotional coefficient is required. So previously people used to say that high performance makes people happy. Now the corporate is acknowledging that happy persons perform better. Happy persons without any reason. You practice your controlled life, controlled mental peace, you will be happy without any reason. So such people perform better, give the better results. Now I propose SQ, spiritual coefficient is the new order that will be very handy in all walks of life, including those in the management. Again, I repeat my disclaimer, anything useful this is by the grace of my Guru. Any inconsistencies or inaccuracies, they are exclusively mine. I conclude by offering Sadar Pranam to Revered Swamiji Abhinav Sankara Bharati Mahaswamigal. I guess through whom my name is proposed for this conference. I sincerely thank the organizers once again to share my whatever little I know with the audience. Last but not the least, I wish to gratefully acknowledge my management lessons of Professor Mahadevan IIM Bangalore and personal discussions with Professor Ekirala Srinivas, he is the son of my Guruji, IIM Bangalore, and Professor Dharam Bhavuk, University of Hawaii, USA. I hope I could portray what is failed leadership through Arjuna and how the wisdom of Gita could transform it into successful leadership. How do I say it is transformed? Finally, after listening to Gita, Arjuna fought the war. He did not run away further. So, some people criticize Gita promotes war. It is not promoting war. It is bringing the senses to the person what is his correct duty. He is a Kshatriya, that's why he is fought the war. I am a Brahmin, I won't fight a war. If I fight a war, it is a disaster. So thereby, I hope that I could establish to some extent the potential of spirituality of the management, thereby the caption of the original theme of this conference, the relevance of Vedic sciences in the modern life, to some extent I contributed. I'll be more than happy to interact with you if you have any questions. Not that I have the answers, but at least I know for future from the questions I will learn further. So I strongly believe that the only way to gain knowledge is to expose your ignorance. Thank you very much for your patience hearing. Yes, please.
All I need to say is now so excellently, very well explained, very well explained. You know, you learn something each day. This is the best way to learn Gita.
Thank you, sir. I'll take it as a blessing. Youngsters, yes, please. Yeah, do you have a mic? Yeah.
So you briefly mentioned that getting up in Brahma Muhurta or 4 a.m. in the morning is beneficial. Could you please elaborate on how it is?
Yeah, you see, your computer or cell phone, it zeroes in some point of time. All the old memory, all the data goes into memory and it freshens the temporary hard disk. Similarly, human system is well designed. The cell phone, all these things are mere mimics of this, what is in the nature. He is a super scientist. So at around 2 o'clock, all these things will go into memory. Your mind will be fresh. It is your hard disk is refreshed and it is fresh. That's why our grandmother used to say, get up in the Brahma Muhurta and read, you will grasp his high. That is the relevance of things. It is a scientifically verified fact. It is not a belief.
So do you mean that in Brahma Muhurta, people forget whatever happened to them?
No, it,
like you said,
it go into the memory. I'll recollect what is in the memory. I recollect what has happened in 10th standard even now.
Okay.
It is somewhere in the down the hard disk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our thoughts go into the background, and whatever soka we carry, that will not be active during that time.
Yeah, that random memory will be active now.
Okay.
So hard disk is refreshed.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, please. Any youngsters? Because I believe that you are the future of tomorrow. Our innings are coming to close. Yes, please. Yeah, she's coming.
With these days of booming technology and medical sciences, as a doctor, one would not be able to, do that Brahmi Muhurta which you said you would get up.
Sorry?
As a doctor or someone who's working around the clock, a night duty, someone who's performing a night duty as a doctor or a resident doctor, with his aim, he may be able to perform all other in spite of he not getting up at the Brahmi Muhurta and trying to. So
doesn't matter, sir.
Would have an
Sir,
exception.
Sorry to
probably
cut
those
short.
who work between 9 and 5, probably that would hold good, but not for those someone who...
Agreed, sir. So I'm sorry to cut short. Work will not kill a person. Worry will kill a person. See, I am saying this now, but until I am up to 50 years of age, 2-3 days, 24/7 I used to work. I never used to feel tired or anything. So whole night I used to work on a research paper or something. Suddenly I hear the cocks saying that it is day, already day is broken. Oh, it is already dawn has come. So no point in sleeping now. I used to go to institute. So work will never kill you because you are enjoying that work. As long as you are enjoying your work, you never feel tired.
But I personally feel the work has to be a passion, never should be an obsession if you have to succeed. Because most of us, we make work an obsession because we got certain goals to set, materialistic goals.
See,
that's where I think we err.
Yeah, passion and obsession we have to distinguish. If it is a passion, it is serving a purpose. I am working for a purpose, then it is worth. See, if I am working so hard just for making money, it is not worth. It is not for the extra buck. It should serve a good purpose. Did I convey what I wanted to say? Did it convince you or? Okay. Yeah, fine. Yes, please.
So I am Dr. Chakradhar.
Yes, sir.
In Indian Institute of Management, Bhagavad Gita is one of the texts they have to study. No?
Who is that?
You know, in Indian Institute of
Management.
According to this one, Indian Institute of Science,
Okay.
they study Bhagavad Gita for
They are
management.
studying Bhagavad Gita. Yeah.
So, and outside countries, European, some of the European schools and USA also, some of the schools, so they adopt moral science. Bhagavad Gita is a moral science.
Very true.
And they do, especially weekend, they enjoy with the Antyakshari on Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
So the IQ will be improved. That is the samskara.
Very true. Very true. That's what Vivekananda said.
Yes.
See, unless it comes from a Western side, we are not accepting. We are thinking that we are weak. A white skin start reading Bhagavad Gita, tomorrow onwards I will start reading. That mental slavery we have to come out. Another thing, again, improving IQ is a benefit. But Bhagavad Gita is not meant for IQ. Bhagavad Gita is meant for SQ.
Yes. So earlier we have moral science, Saturdays. So here in our country, this has to be adopted.
True, very true. So maybe slowly national education policy it will come. Indian knowledge system, they are putting, Ministry of Education is putting a lot of effort. It is happening. Even the yoga. See, yoga means it is interpreted as simply doing some asanas, physical exercises, again for the better health so that you will enjoy your materialistic life better. That is not the purpose. For to start with, the purpose of these asanas is only to get a asana siddhi, able to sit at least 4 hours, 5 hours in a single posture, doing a continuous yoga or prayer or meditation. Not meant for physical health alone. Physical health will improve, that's the byproduct. But starting point is yama niyama.
Yes.
Without that I am bypassing to asana. That is how we are commercializing all this ancient wisdom, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the wonderful session, sir. Now, I request Dr. T.V. Raju, sir, to share his thoughts.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೂ ಇದೇ ಮೈಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಚೇರ್ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್
ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ವಾ?
ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಫರ್ ನಾಮ್
ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಸರ್. ಅಲ್ಲ,
ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ನಾಮ್ ಐ ಸಾ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಚೇರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು ಇದೇ ಮೈಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಮೈಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೈಕ್ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೈಕ್ ಹಾಕು. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಿಂದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರೂ ನಾವು ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಆಧೀನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ತಾವು ಸುಮಾರು 1.25 ಗಂಟೆಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ರಾವ್ರವರು ನೀಡಿದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾದಂತಹ ಮಾತುಗಳು ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಾವು ಅದರಿಂದ ಕಲಿಯೋದು ಬಹಳ ಇದೆ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನನಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತು, ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬಹಳ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಅದರ ನಿರಂತರವಾದಂಥ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ನಮಗಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು ಉಂಟು, ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಉಂಟು. ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಯೋಚನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲೋ ಎಡವಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೀಚರ್. I have taught few aspects of management, nothing else. I have not read Veda, ಪುರಾಣ, ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದು ನಾನು ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡವನಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಾನೇ ಬೆಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಾದರೂ ಭಾವಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಓದ್ದವನಲ್ಲ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಈ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರ ಅಂತ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಬಹಳ ಜನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ವೇದದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ವೇದಾಂತದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಪುರಾಣಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅನೇಕ ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೆಲವು ವಿವರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಡೆದಿರಬಹುದು. ಆದರೆ ಅದರ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ, ಅಥವಾ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೂ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನು ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ಈಗ ಅವರು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ರಾವ್ ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಬಹುಶಃ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯನ್ನು ಕರತಲಾಮಲಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನನಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಉವಾಚಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ನನಗೆ. ಹಾಗಾಯಿತು. ಆದರೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅಚ್ಚುಕಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಆ ಸಮರಿ ಓದಿದಾಗ ನನಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತು, ಬಹುಶಃ ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಒಟ್ಟುಗೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಬಹುಶಃ ನಾವು ಆ ಸಮರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆ. ಈಗ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಪದ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಮಗು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಫಿಲಸಾಫಿಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪದವನ್ನು ಸೊ ವೆರಿ ಆಫನ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ. ಆದರೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ಲಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಪಾಠ ಹೇಳೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಡನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಅದರ್ಸ್, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎನ್ ಆರ್ಟ್. ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವುದನ್ನೇ ಆಗಲಿ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ವೆರಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ required, then you have to have certain important aspects, right? One is you have to plan, you have to organize yourself, then you should think of human resources available there, and you should also know how to control and how to direct. These are all the issues which come under management. When we think of directions, we need leadership, we need communication, we need motivation, we need supervision, right? All such things can be seen very neatly in a spiritual forum or in a philosophical way in Bhagavad Gita. That is possible. Take for example Lord Krishna. You attribute any particular quality of a human being, right, today, that is all being drawn from the great Lord Shri Krishna. We say, you are my friend, you are my philosopher, you are my guide, right, you are a strategist, you are highly compassionate. All these things can be seen in Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is the greatest strategist, greatest leader, right? That what we normally study in various, rather say, Puranas, Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, everything, right? That's okay. On the other hand, when we come to the normal life, we have to manage people, whether it is in our personal life or in our professional life or in an organizational life. We have to manage people. That is not enough. We have to manage money also. We have to manage materials also. Managing money, materials and people, that is nothing but management. According to us, that is nothing but management. It is very essential to reach our goals. We have to manage all these things fine. But when we think of spirituality, it definitely refers to a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves. Connecting ourselves to God. We believe that there is a supernatural power which acts upon us. We try to connect ourselves with this supernatural power, right, which controls us, right? But how to define spirituality? It is very difficult to define spirituality, right? So, a person who doesn't know anything about Vedas and Puranas, speaking about or any aspect of spirituality, it is nothing but a man who doesn't know English wants to speak in BBC of London. Right, it happens like that. But anyway, but whatever little that I have in my mind, that spirituality is only a form of maturity that we could see in a human being. In order to lead a comfortable life in this world, we need to have certain maturity. The first one may be a social maturity for that matter, right? Then a physical maturity. Professor Rao mentioned about that. What kind of physical maturity, what kind of social maturity that we should have. Then on the other hand, an intellectual maturity as such, a chronological maturity as such, an emotional maturity as such. And there may be a philosophical maturity, right? All these maturity is possible if we have a spiritual maturity as such. Without a spiritual maturity, or the spiritual maturity leads to all these kinds of maturity. Otherwise, it is very difficult to lead a normal life in this particular world as such. But anyway, so we know that it is very essential to know about ourselves, and we have to acquire all such positive qualities like peace, joy, and also an unconditional love. Forcing, it is possible only when we focus on non-physical, rather say, goals, rather than anything else. But anyway, we speak about, when we think of spirituality, we think more about self-management. We more about the personal management. We more about, of course, so we are management teachers and we try to connect ourselves with the corporate world today, and also otherwise the managerial aspects of a business world as such. But anyway, when we think of self-management, we say physical, mental and emotional as such. Professor also mentioned that today corporates do not much worry about the IQ, they worry about EQ, and the new wave is the SQ also, right? That is very much true, very much true. One, unless otherwise we are happy, we are not able to perform well, or otherwise we are not able to, rather say, have that particular passion of doing anything. It is spiritual maturity which always, rather say, enhances our interest in performing a particular job as such. But anyway, it is a self-management. What we speak about is only an ability to control our behaviors, our thoughts and our emotions to achieve personal and professional goals as such. That involves definitely some skills like time management or self-discipline or emotional regulations, adaptability to stay focused, and very much organized and productive, especially in challenging situations we come across in our life. But anyway, management through spirituality, when we have to mention about this, management through spirituality, definitely it integrates inner values. We have to have inward journey. Then only it is possible to understand, so what we are and towards what direction that we are moving, right? So therefore inner values, and of course when we think about the inner values, we have to think about the ethics, values, culture, and quality and fostering all compassion, right, and whatever that is required to be a good leader to create a better environment, a work culture in the organization as such, right. How it connects, you see, right, inner peace and inward journey makes many things, makes us to understand what we are. ಈಗ ಯಾರಿಗಾದರೂ ನಾವು ನೀನು ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಯಾರು 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 ಅಂದರೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾರು ಯಾರು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೇನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಲೀಡ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಒಬ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮರೆಯೋ ಹಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಬಹುಶಃ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗಾಡ್ ಆರ್ ಗಾಡೆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಎನಿ ದಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪವರ್, extraordinary power that controls us. But anyway, we have, whenever we think of the spirituality or otherwise managing through spirituality, then definitely, of course, there are certain core principles and benefits that we have to look at or we have to derive. One is, so anything that we do, that should be purpose driven. It should be a purpose driven, and we can say that it refers to deeper human values, no doubt. So, dharma, whatever that we do, it should be on a right way of, rather say, performing. And it is a dharma which leads us, which directs us, right, and which will keep us away from adharma, right. When we think of dharma, that itself is a fine path to walk on it, right. That is one thing. And also there may be what is called, we must have an ethical compass, like a moral framework. That is also important. And honesty, integrity, fairness, all these things we talk about in ethical, what is called compass. And there should be a holistic development. That is also extremely important. And of course, we have to connect mind, body and spirit. Is it not so? That is very, very essential. Whatever that we want to do, mind, body, spirit, all should connect with one another. And there should be an inner peace. Otherwise, all these things cannot happen. And also, we have to lead, right, anything or any particular group, any particular team or any particular thing, we should always lead with example. Then only it is possible for us to convince. Otherwise, it is very difficult as such. So, when we lead with example, you can inspire people. That is possible. You can inspire people, and also with a lot of integrity and care. I think you must have seen various corporate bodies have failed, rather say, in their performance because there is no caring and sharing principle that we have seen. Many organizations have failed. So even in many families, there is no sharing and also there is no caring. That is the problem, is it not so? So likewise, of course, we should always try to, rather say, bring in positive culture. Otherwise, it is very difficult to, rather say, manage anything, either personally or in an organization as such. And at the same time, we should not think of only individual gain. It is very essential to have sustainability. Then naturally, we must have concern for community. That is very important, and also environmental well-being. Anyway, in the modern organizations, what we see today is a rapid change, and intensive competition is there, and technological acceleration is there. Is it not so? And rising uncertainty, all such things can be seen. But in a traditional organization, we concentrated more on the control, efficiency, and also something earning surplus or profit. All these things were then in traditional organization. In a modern organization, it is not so. So therefore, sometimes we feel that there is some philosophical touch or a spiritual touch that is seen, rather especially those who lead the organization. So therefore, leader must be loyal, and he must be empathetic, and he must be highly disciplined. He must be always energetic. He must be realistic. He must be philosophical. He must be spiritual. Right? He must be very intellectual. He must be social. But we try to see all those things in a leader who is able to manage the organization in a different way. Anyway, it is ultimately we can say it is a paradigm shift, or otherwise a shift from mechanical models of management to the human-centric approach. This is spirituality, right? This is how we have to manage with spirituality that is there. Anyway, we have to focus on values like kindness, loyalty, and respect, caring, sharing, etc. Of course, there is an integrated life. It is a balancing work, family, and whatever there in the environment. All such things should be seen in an organization, and it is all possible with spiritual values. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Okay, so there should be what is called community orientation. There should be harmony, and forgetting about hierarchy. It is always to have an open mind by the leaders. So to try to understand fellow beings, then we can bring something towards contemporary business ethics if leaders are really spiritual as such. Anyway, this spirituality and management, right? So independently, they are different tools, no doubt. But at the same time, a balancing approach, when we think of balancing approach, so both go together, and instead of ego-driven, it should be echo-driven instead of ego-driven as such. But yeah, that is one thing that we should, yes. And I mentioned about few qualities of a leaders also. So such leaders are found in an organization. Organization moves smoothly well, right, go well, or perform well, right. But how we have to motivate the fellow beings is most important there, is it not so? So for which you need to have certain maturity, that is also one spiritual maturity or emotional maturity or philosophical maturity will also help a lot. All right. For example, in Kurukshetra war, I tell you, when we think of motivation, leaders have to motivate people. In Kurukshetra war, you know very well that Arjunan Ratha ಓಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋರು ಯಾರು? ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಕರ್ಣನ ರಥ ಓಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋರು ಯಾರು? ಶಲ್ಯ. Shalya was little partial, right? He is very partial, I know. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅರ್ಜುನಂಗೆ? ಅರ್ಜುನ, ನಿನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಇನ್ಯಾರೂ ಕೂಡ ನೀನು ಯುದ್ಧವನ್ನು ಗೆಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಕರ್ಣನ್ನ ಸೋಲ್ಸೋದು ನಿನಗೇನು ಮಹಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿಚಾರ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನೀನು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನನ್ನು ಸೋಲಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೀನು ಬಹಳ ದೂರ, ನೀನು ವೀರ ಶೂರ, ನಿನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಬಿಲ್ಲುವಿದ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಣಿತನಾದವನು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಿನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಯುದ್ಧ ರಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋರಾಡೋನು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಹೀಗೆ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ 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 ಶಲ್ಯ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಕರ್ಣನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಅಪ್ಪ ಅರ್ಜುನ ಎಂಥ ವಾರಿಯರ್, ಎಂಥ ಯುದ್ಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾವೀಣ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದಂಥವನು, ಅವನ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ನೀನು ಗೆಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಉಂಟೆ? ಖಂಡಿತ ನಿನಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಕರ್ಣನಿಗೆ ಡಿಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್, ಕರ್ಣ ವಾಸ್ ಎ ಬೆಟರ್ ವಾರಿಯರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಅರ್ಜುನ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಡಿಮೋಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಬೈ ಶಲ್ಯ, he lost his life. Because of the motivation given by Lord Krishna, Arjuna won over Karna. Best example for motivation. ಹಾಗೆ when you refer certain Puranas or Vedas or Mahabharata or Ramayana, you will be able to see many such things, right? In case of Dhruva, Vidura, Jadabharata, so just analyze their qualities, analyze their characteristics, right? Hanuman, right? Rama, Maryada Purushottama Rama anತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಯಾಕಂತೀವಿ? So because the way in which he used to take decisions. ಅದನ್ನೇನಾರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಮೋಸದಿಂದ ವಾಲಿನ ಕೊಲ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ ರಾಮ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ವಾಲಿನ ಕೊಲ್ಲಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ವಿತ್ rather say Sugriva and all, because they were in search of Sita. So decision making in a crucial situation is also very, very important. Rama did it very effectively. We have to learn all those things from Rama for that matter, right? And consciousness, when we think of Jadabharata, what kind of consciousness, what kind of interaction, and what kind of objective and objectivity in case of Dhruva, and in case of Vidura, what kind of, decisions that he has taken under crucial circumstances, very hard decisions that he has taken not to fight. Why? How such decisions arrive at? That's also very, very important, is it not so? Again, when you analyze all these things, of course, even communication skills also, probably we have to learn from Hanuman, communication skills. So ಅವನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೋಗಿ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಭರತನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಭರತ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ರಾಮ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಈಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೇ, ಸೊ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಆಯಿತು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದೇ ಹನುಮಾನ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಮಾನ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ಮರಿಬಾರ್ದು. ಸಂಜೀವಿನಿ ಪರ್ವತ ತೊಗೊಂಬ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಬರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಲಾಲೆ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾಪನೆ ಆಗೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅವನು ಟೈಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಅವಮಾನ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಅವನು ಭಾಳ ಅವಮಾನ ಪಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಉಂಟು. ರಾಮ ವಾಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಟು ದಿ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಹನುಮಾನ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ rather say like that, but he's an extraordinary, rather say expert in communication and also time management ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, so he created another situation there. So we'll learn all those things from probably Ramayana and all. But anyway, these are all things, right? Many decisions we take without emotions, is it not so? A lot of examples are available there. But anyway, it is already time now, and so many things, of course, we can discuss about the spirituality and also management, right? But anyway, it's good that I have already mentioned about that. If for a very holistic life, for a holistic life, we have to lead a holistic life with the help of whatever spiritual maturity that we have attained. Spiritual maturity is also at different levels, is it not so? Different levels, first level, second level, third level. Probably Professor Rao has put it in a very neat way as far as the spirituality levels are concerned. So, ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ನಮಗೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ನಾವು ಬಹುಶಃ DVG ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಕಗ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಷಟ್ಪದಿನೇ ನಾವು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೀಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು: ಹುಲ್ಲಾಗು ಬೆಟ್ಟದಡಿ, ಮನೆಗೆ ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆಯಾಗು, ಕಲ್ಲಾಗು ಕಷ್ಟಗಳ ಮಳೆಯ ವಿಧಿ ಸುರಿಯೇ, ಬೆಲ್ಲ ಸಕ್ಕರೆಯಾಗು ದೀನ ದುರ್ಬಲರಿಂಗೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೊಳಗೊಂದಾಗು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. ನಾವು ಬದುಕಿದ್ರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು, ಜೀವನ ನಡೆಸಿದ್ರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಜೀವನ ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಬದುಕನ್ನು ವಿಮರ್ಶೆ ಮಾಡೋದಾದರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಮರ್ಶೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟು ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಬದುಕು ಸಾಗಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದಿಂದ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಬದುಕೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಎಂದು ಕಳ್ಕೊಬಾರ್ದು. ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ, ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬದುಕಬಾರ್ದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ DVG ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಗ್ಗದ ಪದ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಹೀಗಿದೆ: ಬದುಕು ಜಟಕ ಬಂಡಿ, ವಿಧಿ ಅದರ ಸಾಹೇಬ, ಕುದುರೆ ನೀನ್ ಅವನು ಪೇಳಿದಂತೆ ಪಯಣಿಗರು, ಮದುವೆಯೋ ಮಸಣಕೋ ಹೋಗೆಂದ ಕಡೆ ಗೋಡು, ಪದಕುಸೆ ನೆಲೆದಿದು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. ಇದು ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ರಾದರ್ ಸೇ ದಿ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್, those who are able to manage themselves, those who are able to manage the family, those who are able to manage the environment, those who are able to manage an organization, right, it is very essential that philosophical touch, that spiritual touch, always very, very essential, with which an organization can grow systematically well, effectively well. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I don't know how far I am able to reach all of you. Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for emphasizing the importance of spirituality in management. Now I request Shri Venkatesh to render the vote of thanks.
Namaste, good afternoon. Respected chairperson of this session, Dr. Raju, distinguished speaker of this session, Dr. Raghav Rao, guest of this session, Ramesh Venkataramana, and all the distinguished scholars, volunteers, faculty, and students. So this session was really amazing. It was very educative, inner thinking, and very vital for especially the students of present day. So it was a thought-provoking, sir, and really I am also very much benefited by this. So on behalf of NIVS, Vijaya College, we wholeheartedly thank you for the wonderful and session for this, sir. Next is our So now our chairperson of this session, it was like a icing on the cake. So he summed up and gave more practical hints and especially the students are really will be enriched by his talk. And he was narrating with, he said he do not know Ramayana birth, but he was always quoting everything. So he is really wonderful. Thank you very much for the wonderful session, sir. We also thank you, Ramesh Venkatpranam, for being the guest of this session. And we thank all the volunteers, intellectuals, students for making this session very good. Now I request Chairperson Sri Raju to do the honors to Dr. Raghava Rao. Next to Venkatramana. Thank you, Raju. So I request Raju sir to do the honors to Ramesh Venkatramana, guest of this section. Thank you, Raju. Thank you, Raju, sir. Now, I request Dr. T.A. Balakrishnan, Secretary, BHS Higher Education Society, to do the honors to the Chairperson, Dr. Raju, sir. Thank you, Balakrishnan sir. Thank you, everybody. Any announcement?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we'll take a break for the lunch. Lunch has been arranged outside the auditorium, and the next session will start in the auditorium. We'll take a break for half an hour for the lunch and assemble back in the auditorium. Thank you, everyone.